Feel the power of the sun!
Hey, Sween, what's that song called that Kanye and Jay-Z did? They're in that one like European city.
It's N-words in Paris.
Well, but I mean, if it wasn't censored, I don't. What is N-word? I don't. What does that mean?
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
You know the country Niger? It's like that word, but like it's phonetically similar to that word.
Welcome to the Snark Tank. Welcome to the Snark Tank podcast, the show hosted by Chris Reagan, Derek Blackman, and Tom Sweeney. Tom Sweeney is broadcasting from the surface of the fucking sun.
Yes.
I don't know.
You ever seen that movie Bright? You ever seen the movie Bright?
Literally.
Or what is it? Sunshine or whatever the fuck that movie's called? I think it's called Bright.
You get a curtain.
Nah.
Get a curtain.
It's insane.
Never.
You look ridiculous.
I look amazing. I look like I look like fucking Raiden with the fucking.
No, you don't. You think you look like
I
Raiden.
look stupid. This is an Explorer hat, bro.
It doesn't even register as an Explorer hat because there's so much light on it that it takes away the detail. It just looks like a.
It's so insane.
It's like Vanta white. It's crazy.
This is gray. It's just the brightest gray possible.
No, dude,
so
it's doing the opposite of Vanta black, where like it is reflecting so much light that I can't make out any detail on it. It's crazy.
Insane. How like this is so absurd. And for the record, I was thinking about the sci-fi movie Sunshine that came out in 2007, where it is.
Look, this is my face when I'm gone.
Like you don't look like you. Like I can't tell.
That doesn't look like a person.
It's so insane
right,
that you're
listen.
even like, are your fucking pupil like? Isn't this hurting your fucking retinas? Or
No, I have the brim on to be able to protect my eyes. This is an adaptation.
Kingston, get a curtain.
It's insane that you haven't gotten anything.
Don't have.
It's insane
that's the only thing we don't have.
Look at. We moved into a new house over here in Vegas. The first day, I went to Walmart just as a temporary fix, bought those sticker hanger things that hold like 30 pounds, and then just bought a rod and a blackout curtain, and I was done. That took like 5 fucking minutes to just assemble. Like, why would you just do that?
Because I love the sun. It wakes me up. It comes and gives me besitos in the morning.
Sun. That's fine. You know what you can do? You can have it open so it wakes you up, and then when you're ready to film a fucking podcast, you can shut it.
It's a revolutionary concept.
It gives me little besitos in the morning, and I'm like, I love these little sunshine kisses, and it wakes me up, dude.
All right, listen. Fuck this. Welcome to the Snark Tank podcast. You can support us over at patreon.com/snarktank. You can get yourself into one of the tiers. There's plenty of tiers over there. There's one for writing in your questions to the show, and we answer that periodically throughout the show. We've had the question thread for this month. By the way, Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2024. We made it this far. We're surprised.
We made it.
2004 was 20 years ago. Upsetting.
Crazy to think about.
Upsetting, but we're at this point.
Good shit came out in 2004.
Yeah, man. A lot of good shit came out in 2004. 2004 is one of those even like but like from like I think with movies, music, and games. I'm particularly knowledgeable about games in 2004, but like I know like a bunch of good music came out that year too. It was like a pretty solid.
What came out in 2004 that I would know about?
Oh my god,
man, a lot of good shit. That was
I had it on my mind earlier. Just like a lot of crazy good shit. If you look up a lot of 2004
Nelly
songs.
came out with My Place. That's pretty cool. Christina Milian, Dip It Low. I remember that. I Don't Want to Know came out in 2004. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a good year. Halo 2, World of Warcraft, all this crazy shit. Half-Life 2. Nuts.
Goodies
Nuts
came out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
American Idiot came out in 2004. What?
Sure did.
Yeah. It's a crazy time. 2004 was a goated year. Now we're 20 years removed from it. We've had the question thread up for this month up for 19 hours at the time of recording this. This is our first episode recording of the new year, but we've had the question thread up for about 19 hours. It's already at like over 120 questions. So it's hell over there. So if you want to pile on.
2004 was an insane year of music, guys.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's wilder than you think, I think.
It's not
Donate to our
because I
Patreon.
remember
Donate to our
buying a
Patreon.
lot of music that year. Like that, I
Yeah.
specifically, some of my favorite albums came out that year, so I very much remember.
Lean Back came out that year. Fucking on
What is
fire.
could
by
you
Lloyd
recite some
Banks.
lyrics from Lean Back?
Drop it like they
give
say
me-
my
give me the
homies
chorus.
don't dance. They just pull up
that's
their
not
pants
that's not correct,
and
sir.
do
Give me
the
the,
rock away.
What does he
Now
say?
lean back.
I said my what don't dance?
My homies don't dance. They just
I
pull up
don't
their
think
pants.
that's correct. I think there's a different word used.
My hitters don't dance. They just pull up their pants. My fellers don't dance.
My fella. If anyone of them figured it out yet, this guy says he's not going to say the N word anymore. And I don't know if it's for the rest of his life or just this entire
No,
year.
I'm trying to get better at it, so I'm gonna go as long as I can without saying it. Yeah, came out 2004 as well, and Confessions Part 2. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a good year, man.
Yeah.
My second favorite Rise Against album came out that year too.
Bro, fucking
it's a
Slipknot
good year.
Subliminal Verses, which I think, like, if you're not a Slipknot fan, everybody knows songs from that album.
Of
Especially
course.
because of, like, Guitar Hero Rock Band or whatever the fuck. Killswitch Engage, The End of Heartache. I mean, iconic
By the
album
way-
from them. Great shit.
By the
came
way,
out that year.
this is what I mean. By the way,
Somebody told me
because
it came
I
out that
remember.
year.
All right, fucking click
Somebody
out
told
of
me-
that. Click out of that.
So here's the thing. This is what I mean when I say we can't really tell the quality of music in the era that we're currently living in until a lot of time has passed. Because I remember a lot of people at the end of the 2000s, in like 2011, 2010, 2012, talking about how like the 2000s sucked.
Oh, no, they
music. It was
did.
like,
I think they
oh
did
my God.
overall.
They did not.
I think they did overall, personally.
they
I think
didn't,
they did
Kingston.
overall. But granted, it's better than I remember it being.
No, it's not. Here's the thing.
think
People
it did.
think, no, this is I hate this argument because at the beginning of the 90s, people probably were like, man, the 80s fucking sucked. The 80s sucked for music. It's
Probably.
because they're too close to it because they hear everything. They hear everything that comes out in the 80s because they lived in the 80s. But like with distance, all the great shit sifts to the top. And you can go back and like, oh man, greatest, like the best shit from that era. It's like, oh, suddenly like music's really good. It's not that music was bad in the 2000s. It's that music's always bad generally. And we have to wait for the great shit to sift up through the decades.
I
think
agree.
I agree with
agree,
you on that.
but-
I agree with you on that. But I think out of all the decades that I've heard music from, I think particularly the 2000s have had the worst. I
don't
think
think so.
granted, there was probably a bunch of great music that came out in 2000s, obviously, duh. But I think 2000s were the worst that I've experienced so far.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
The 2010s for me were a little bit lackluster, but
For
again,
me, I
that's
think
the
the
recency
2010s, I
bias.
like it a lot because it's simply the fact that's when a lot of people got to start experimenting with rap music in a way I enjoy. That's why I like 2010s.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that happens, though. It's the genre that people mess with heavily is when they say somebody who's a fan of classic rock. Well, obviously, the best music that came out was in the 70s.
70s, of course. 100%.
Like, right. It's kind of like one of those things where I think objectively, though, and it's hard to say objective in this situation, but the 80s was one of the probably weakest periods of when we
That's
talk about, like,
crazy to
say,
think
some of the
about.
most iconic music that is spun to this day. A lot of it actually was not from the 80s because a lot of the there was a lot of experimentation that was in, like, they thought this was the future. So there was a lot of music that was like, oh, we're trying to make this specific futuristic music and not just like taking drugs and just experimenting, like, say, with a lot of the 60s and 70s. And then drugs came back in the 90s. But in the 80s, there was a lot of the drugs were kind of like the LSD and a lot of the psychedelics were kind of taken out of music. And it was like, let's just use a lot of synths. Let's just do these things because we're in the future. And even like, say, if you watch a movie like Rocky IV, it is that to a T. You can see that they even have that stupid fucking robot in the robot butler thing.
Dog,
Like,
there's
it's
a
so
robot in Rocky IV.
it's so
Bro,
like,
that
even
is
though
a
I love
moment
that
that
movie. I love that movie.
That is a moment that I'll never forget because he was like, hey, guess what I got? And then a robot comes out of the room. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude?
The era was, look, I adore that shit, but I also can take a step out of it and look at it and be like, this shit's kind of silly, right? And I think that's what you kind of have to do. It'd be like, you can still enjoy shit that's fucking wacky. Like, let's not throw it all away.
I think of when you're saying all this stuff, I think of Devo. You know, like
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff where it's like, this is what the fuck even is this?
Yeah.
I think the 80s has good music. Granted, the 80s is very overrepresented. That period of time is a very well-loved period of time for a lot of people. people that way, especially if you experienced it. I really can't. I just feel the same.
See,
I feel that way about 2000s. I feel like.
Wait. Because I find the opposite. I find like a lot of the people that I know who grew up in the 80s don't
No.
love the 80s.
It's well remembered by a lot of people that weren't there. Like I know my family that lived. They were like 80s was a horrifying time. It was like really terrible. Like the war on drugs and like shit like that was like popping off. People were like, "Yo, this sucks." But like,
yeah, it was literally just cocaine and AIDS,
and like being arrested for no reason.
Yeah, like everything was on fire always. It's crazy. Yeah. It was like the 80s is fucked. We've really overly romanticized. But what I'm saying is like I don't know. What I'm saying is
but it has such upbeat music.
The 2010s for me is like a really lackluster decade for me. But again, I'm very aware of the fact that like we just came out of that, and we're going to need time for like the best of that era to really like kind of sift up to the top. I still think.
Well, hold on.
Intuitively, I feel like it might not be that strong.
I think the 2010s is extremely strong because of like people like Kendrick Lamar.
You know what I think
single-handedly, like and like
that's true.
J. Cole, hate him or love him, Drake, Future, Mac Miller, all of Tyler the Creator's group, like that era of music. Yeah. I really like because that was like my teen. You know, like when you're like you really have your experimental phase with music when you're like late teens. You know, just like 16 to 18s when you like really start listening to music like for real. And that was the time when I started doing that.
I think that's a good example if you're listening to that particular genre of music. But in a lot of other genres, like one thing I think and why the 2010s weren't good for you, Chris, and it was kind of the same way for me, is that a lot of bands that I grew up listening to, even a lot of hip hop artists, they either stopped making music or they already made their best albums. And that's something that is kind of unfortunate where most bands I listen to, most of my favorite bands, have not been able to replicate their first few albums that were just fucking, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for more musicians to be able to break that chain, right? That cycle of blowing their load too early.
Done that, though.
What?
I feel like there is one musician that's really done that.
There's some. Like, it's just largely...
Can you name more than 3 that have done that?
Can I? Well, so it is... I have to think a little bit more on... I can't really do it on the fly right now. I just know that there's some bands like there's a band called Job for a Cowboy, this metal, that their older stuff actually... which was really good at its time for what it was, and they actually kind of... were revolutionary for its genre of deathcore or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But their later shit, I'm talking like 2014, they came out with an album. Best shit they made by eons. Like they're
really?
They're one of these bands that they figured out their sound, and the bass is like considered an instrument, because in metal a lot of times the bass is just rhythm in the background. It's just to make the guitar sound a little bit more beefy. But in this album, it's just the music's phenomenal. And so there's other examples of that, but it's so fucking rare. It's so rare. Usually people kind of like just blow their load. The hell are you looking at, Chris? You look like you're kind of like...
Oh, no, sorry. I'm managing the question thread and I accidentally refreshed it.
For me, the only group I think that has got, like band-wise, I think that's gotten better is Mastodon. I feel like they've just gotten better as a group.
That is,
but I think it's my ear for them has gotten better as well.
Well, no, you're right, because I would say, because I was an old school fan of Mastodon. I'm talking about my ringtone when I was in high school, or not ringtone, my voice message in their original EP. They had in their original shit, they used to use people used to use here's from a movie, I'm going to use this line and it's going to open up the song. And they had this redneck from a documentary just saying one of the most redneckiest things, like, well, I took the butcher knife and put her up to her neck, and he's basically threatening his wife for making bad eggs or something, like just complete backwoods shit. And then the song starts, pure chaos. Back then they used to be pure fucking chaos.
Like
then they made
Remission?
Before Remission. Before Remission.
I like them since Leviathan. That's when I found out about them, when I was small. I think it was like maybe some sort of like game had a song from Remission in it.
Probably, because it was probably like
Leviathan.
From Leviathan. It was probably Blood and Thunder. which is probably
It
one
might
of their
have
most
been that. I think it was
one of their
that.
most popular songs. That really
And
put
I
them
heard
on
them,
the
and I've
map.
listened to them since for years and years. And they came out with music like in 2014. That was amazing. And I was like, there's no reason for you guys to be this good this many years later. It was just weird to me.
They found their groove, which was, it's just way better because the other shit was way more chaotic. Like even when you talk about Remission, they were still coming off of doing the chaotic stuff. They were still screaming a bit. I found them out on, fucking Headbangers Ball used to be a huge compilation of like metal. They used to be on MTV2, and so they were on the B side. And but anyway, I don't want to get too far into that. But yeah, I say objectively, their chaotic shit was cool, but it's just not like more people enjoy it. Even me, they're just better at writing songs now. Oh, Bring Me the Horizon. Bring Me the Horizon. Their old shit is dog shit to me. Like dog.
Yeah, Bring Me the Horizon's
Dog
gotten significantly better. Yeah.
Shit. I mean,
crazy.
I'm talking 2006. One of the most popular metal bands. Like they were number one on MySpace. I hated them. I was like, this band's terrible. I don't even know why people like them. Then they got a little bit better, but they were just stealing another one of my favorite hardcore bands, and I feel like it's really controversial. I'm not going to get into that. And then I would say 2013, they released an album called Sempiternal. That's when I'm like, this band actually starting to sound really fucking good. And then on, they've just been banger after banger where they got it now. So there's a handful, but I think it comes down to changing the genre kind of, instead of just writing similar shit and it being better.
Yeah, it's also a matter of just like what you prefer to listen to as well.
Right.
Like that's going to have a lot of impact on it. It's like if somebody doesn't like if somebody only likes comic books, like only likes comic book movies, they would probably be like, "Whoa, dude, the 2010s were amazing." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 2010s were amazing, like way better. And then like a lot of like cinema people who probably aren't into comic books are probably going to be like, "Yeah, it was pretty good," but like I mean,
the 80s were the best with the
the 80s.
These movies were.
I don't know what cinema.
Perfect.
I don't know what year, what decade would be considered like the best
For cinema
from like
heads?
from like a cinephile's
80s,
perspective.
100%.
I really,
80s, early 90s.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because late 80s was when Scorsese was the best director by far, 110%, and he had like 9 movies that come out in the 80s.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of people that don't care about like a lot of cinemaphiles that aren't like into the whole crime fucking mob shit. Where they're like, I get it, I've seen it. Some they're good, but then it's like how many of them do you need to see?
Scorsese, he annoys me with some of his takes. The Departed, bro, that's one of my favorite fucking movies.
Absolutely.
That movie's so fucking amazing. I don't care what anybody says. That and obviously
that's great.
Goodfellas. Goodfellas is a masterpiece. I think that's like one of the best films
Goodfellas,
ever made.
Goodfellas, I think is my favorite of his for sure. Like, but I don't know. Anyway,
The
we're
part has like
getting-
Nicholson a lot in it. That's why I love that he says the N-word in the first 4 minutes.
Yeah,
we're getting we're getting sidetracked. There's so much to go over today.
For no reason. He's talking to this child, this white child.
well, it just doesn't have. It's just
says it.
narration. It's just narration.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson narrating, and they just hard R because to set the tone that it's Boston. And I'm like, I love this. Anyway, go ahead.
So listen, a lot's gone down. I would be remiss to not touch on it. But before we get into the stuff that I think is really important, or the things that people are going to want us to talk about, I want to lead into it with this question. Because I saw this on TikTok, not even like an hour earlier than the time that we're recording this. It was a TikTok of some guy talking about how he's a landlord and he owns 15,000 houses. He owns 15,000 homes that he rents out. Now, my question is, how many, because this is something that I thought immediately, how many homes does one person have to own and not live in before they are equivalent to at least one pedophile?
That's crazy. I feel like never exactly, but I'll let you continue.
I think it's like 5. I think the second you get to over 4 homes, you're basically equivalent to a pedophile to me. Like, I sincerely had a visceral reaction when I saw this guy talking about owning 15,000 homes that was similar to like watching a pedophile talking about going off like scot-free. Like, ooh, look, I got away with it. Like, I got the same feeling. I'm like, wow, I hate you.
You know what may
I
be
hate you
a little
to the core of your being.
You know what may be a little controversial is I think that's probably I think that's actually when you actually think about damaging the population, I think that person is worse than because the pedophile is affecting one family pretty much.
Well, you also to be fair not to be fair to the
it sounds
pedophile.
fucking wild, but
hold on, wait.
I might leave the podcast low key. I might leave right now.
Because I'm arguing on behalf of the damage that the pedophile does. Because you could theoretically say, it's one family, but like that kid is now probably, in all likelihood, that's like a new probably a new pedophile. That's statistically kind of what happens.
I agree.
Like at least like some percentage of the time.
I agree. So it does go outside of just one family. You're absolutely right about that.
So it's like the flood kind of. It spreads over time.
But let's even just say, for the sake of argument, generational.
Please stop talking.
Let's just say generational 5 families, 6 families. Let's just say that is this is the thing. This is when you got to do the whole thing like fuck Ben Shapiro, but facts before feelings, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's like the feelings, like Sweeney's all up in his feels right now. I get that because pedophilia is the worst shit ever.
I'm not in my. I just don't think I don't think right now is where you guys stake your claim. But I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen.
Chris opened up this with that comparison. Yeah. So now I'm taking taking 15,000 homes for people who could actually potentially own them. Because that's what we need in this country desperately. We need affordable housing and people to own their fucking homes. To be able to own
that much property in general is absurd.
It's fucking absolutely abhorrent. So 15,000 versus, I'm just saying one. If we were going to say 15,000, this guy owning 15,000 homes versus 15,000 pedophiles, I mean,
no, right? That's what I'm saying.
Clearly, the pedophiles.
Right.
Yeah,
right. But that's what the question is. The question is how many homes does one person have to own before they're equivalent to a single pedophile?
And you said 5. I feel like that's. It sounds awful, but you're probably right. Just because of how much we abhor, kids being abused. But when we think about it's such a good point to raise how we overlook the insane housing crisis and how fucking foreigners are able to just fucking buy up houses and be like, this is my business. Like people that don't even live here. They just go
like straight up foreign governments, like officials from foreign governments.
The housing crisis, I don't overlook it because of the fact that I'm trying to buy a home. And the amount of money I've brought to a bank to try to finance a home and got laughed at is insane. Like the amount of money I've brought to a bank to be like, hey, me and my partner want to finance a house. And they laughed. I was like, do you guys see how much money this is?
And do you see your skin color? Do you see who you are?
Do you see who you are and what you're with? And I'm like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah, that's not even. It's not even
fuck
close.
Out of here when your name is Josh. Your name is Josh Smith. Come back.
Yeah, change your name.
Change your name. Change you.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. I saw that. I saw that video of that guy talking earlier, and I immediately my mind immediately went to this guy's basically a pedophile. Like that was the first thing I thought. That's the first thing I thought when he opened his mouth and said that. I just thought that was kind of funny. But also, speaking of pedophiles, the Epstein list is out. Yeah. The Epstein list is out there, and
is the whole thing out?
So I think it's going to come out
through.
The end of the month. Actually, I think even more shit's coming out at the end of the month. But there's some shit out now.
Yeah, there's some stuff out now. Honestly, kind of uneventful. I don't know. Like I didn't see that much going around about it. But the funniest thing I did see, and I'm not sure if this is new because I feel like I remember this being an idea that was set up before this. But Stephen Hawking apparently on the island in an orgy. I don't even understand.
Did he get there in logistics?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, did they build him like a special suit?
I hope so.
I don't understand.
Like Ava Unit 1.
But see, that's the great thing about Stephen Hawking. Like they made that movie about him and everything, and they explored him cheating on his wife, like him, having a mistress. And I love the idea of him being so, handicapped, but still just stepping out on someone who was even willing to be with him. Like
to be fair, that was before he was handicapped.
Yeah, I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know about that. I think
he had ALS, right?
In my reality, he's clearly in the wheelchair with the
He was
the
born.
computer.
He was born in that chair. He
Yeah,
was born in
He
the
was
chair.
born in a wheelchair.
He came out with a mini fucking wheelchair,
And it grew with him. It grew with him.
yeah.
He's always
Yeah,
had
absolutely.
that one wheelchair, dude.
Mommy, cry, change. You know, like, I love that fucking voice. I love that old, like Macintosh voice or whatever that thing was. Hi,
I love the idea of that
commies,
cursing
come.
at you. Like someone
want to
snapping and
be-
going berserk and just typing a bunch of mean shit towards you. And not just, like, you know when you first found out about Google Translate and everybody would just use it in computer class and just turn up the volume and press anything and people would
Yeah.
get kicked out of the class.
Semen, and then you click it again so it goes slower. Semen, and I'm like, I love this,
Bro, I went
love
crazy.
it so much.
We made up a story about my friend Corey getting raped by a panther in the jungle or something like that. And I got kicked out of classes. I started laughing the hardest. It wasn't me who played it, but I laughed the hardest.
Yeah, you got
So
the
I
most
kicked out.
you got the most joy out of it, and so you were the recipient. Of
Yeah,
the punishment.
100%.
I laughed until I almost peed myself. And my teacher was like, "That's enough," and I kept laughing.
Yeah, so
Don't tell me it's enough.
So in
It's enough when it's not
2015,
funny anymore.
yeah, so it says Stephen Hawking's name came up in the newly unsealed Jeffrey Epstein documents. In 2015, Epstein offered to pay people to disprove an allegation that Hawking was in an underage orgy, but the documents don't actually have any allegations against Hawking.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand what that fucking means. If I were a betting man, I would say this probably didn't happen because he's fucking immobile. But it's still fucking hilarious.
I think it's
The
people.
Figure out the
idea-
universe. I gotta fuck these kids.
There's
The
also
image, the image of him is really just like,
That's
suck
what's
my
so great.
penis. Suck
some.
my penis.
Come, I'm coming.
I'm coming. The
Um,
universe is meaningless without little boys. I don't know. It's weird.
I think he was into like midgets and shit too. Like there was like other stuff that was.
I
covered
saw a
in that,
video. I
too.
saw a thing of somebody giving Stephen Hawking a
little
trash
people.
can and
Excuse
hitting a midget in the head with it. And I'm like, damn, dude, this is crazy.
I've been seeing a bunch of wheelchair stuff, like this dude crashing through a window. I don't even know what that. I
Dude,
don't
you
even
saw
know
that one, right? The person's
what
like
is
recording
that?
and
I
the
don't
person
even-
just hits the window. I'm
I
like,
don't
what
even
the
know
fuck?
where that's from. I was like, is that looks like some
I have
Walker
no
Texas
idea what you're
Ranger
even talking
shit or
about.
It
something.
looks funny. That's all it does. It looks funny.
My money's on Walker Texas Ranger because that show did some of the craziest shit. And Conan O'Brien for a while back with the Late Night with Conan O'Brien, when they absorbed the rights, I think it was NBC. I forgot what network he was on, but they got the Walker Texas Ranger rights. He's like, I can play clips of that show whenever I want. And he had a lever right next to his desk, and he would just randomly throughout the day just pull it and show the stupidest, craziest clips from that show, like a kid being in the library on one of those ladders, and this motherfucker's like, jump, I'll catch you. Kid jumps and the guy just walks away and the kid just plummets to the floor. And I'm like, what is the context of that happening? Why did he do that? Great show. It's a great fucking show.
I watched way too much of that when I was little. Because my grandmother, of course, likes Chuck. My grandma likes anything Western, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't get what about. I don't understand what made her like Western so much.
Back
But
when
she
men were
loves
men.
that shit.
I mean, westerns were probably like the dominant film genre when she was young.
Yeah.
that was like
She-
the westerns. Westerns were like the MCU basically. Back then.
I
Yeah,
guess.
Like I'm not even joking. Like that's
Yeah.
a genuine, like sincere. Like it was like comic book movies are today. They're like a really dominant force in
'Cause
film.
she
Like to the point
loves
where
those
people
fucking-
didn't even know how
She
to make
watches
movies that weren't
Spanish
that.
ones, dude.
Right. Spanish
She would
ones?
watch spaghetti westerns in Spanish, and I'm
That's
like, "What
badass.
the grandma? What is this?"
She watched empanada westerns. That's fucking
I
Empanada
guess.
Westerns.
I guess tajin westerns. I guess is what they're called.
Italian Westerns.
That is
And it's just
fucking
like
crazy.
I'm like, why do you like these so much? She's like, I think Claims was so beautiful, and I'm like, he was a good-looking guy when he was younger, I guess.
Of course, yeah. Yes.
Now he's kind of a bigot.
Well,
he's got it's a huge bigot.
Yeah,
but
the
like,
hate aged him like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
probably he's
Now
he
he-
looks
now
like
he's
he's
a
like
bigot.
100. He looks like he's 100.
Yeah,
You know what's
he's a bigot
crazy?
now.
He's like super bigoted, and his son is friends with a
Now.
bunch of black people. All his friends are black rappers.
Oh, I'm
and
sure he's
athletes.
seething. Like he
Yeah,
was in
but
a,
It's like, God damn it! God damn
He
was
strikes
in
me
a-
as one of those. He strikes me as one of those people who, I don't know. He's bigoted, but he's like very like. He like accepts defeat on some level.
He
Like, he's just
begrudgingly
like,
accepts
I'm
that
outta
like they're
here.
there.
Yeah, he begrudgingly. He's like they're here, whatever. They're not all bad, but like I mean,
He's like, God damn it, man!
yeah. God damn it, whatever.
God damn it! Bring him in.
damn it,
They can
I
have
guess.
dinner, whatever.
whatever. I'm out of here in less than a couple years anyway. Fucking destroy this place. I don't care. I'll be laughing from heaven, watching y'all get raped by the devil while I'm playing my harp. He doesn't sound like that at all. All right. I don't know.
You really want to bring an engine in the house? You know who I am, boy.
Engine.
That's the best.
He brings over a few black friends and Native Americans.
Brings over
and he's like
Native Americans, Asians. He's like, why are these?
So, y'all hungry? I guess.
Why you bring
really
these
curious.
Viet Cong
I got
in my
biscuits
house?
and fucking biscuits and some beans in the back if you want some.
So I'm really
That's
curious.
the 8, right?
I don't have.
So
any
I'm
more
really
chopsticks
curious
for
about-
you, Viet Cong. Like, I'm Chinese. Whatever.
I'm Chinese from Delaware. Yeah, whatever you say, Ling Ling.
You know what's funny? There is like there is an element of like, you know how the horseshoe theory where kind of like where certain things kind of loop back around into being themselves from the opposite perspective. Like there's almost like an anti-racist sentiment to the idea of like, yeah, whatever, it's all the same. Do you know what I mean? There's almost
continue.
like
I do
Elaborate
know what
a
you
little
mean.
more.
I
well,
do
because
know
like
what you mean.
if you don't really believe that there's really any difference, then it really truly doesn't matter,
do
and it
know
is
what you mean.
basically all the same.
I know
but
what you
like
mean.
there's then the opposite end of the spectrum where it's like, oh, the Chinese are all the fucking same. You know what I mean? It's the same exact.
I feel like
it
you're
loops
right
around.
in the wrong way. I feel like you're right in the horseshoe theory way. You know, like I feel like the horseshoe theory is what's making you right, but,
No, but that's what I'm
not in the
saying.
correct way of being right.
No,
You're like
saying like it's all the same. It implies that like, oh, you don't care. I get, like, I know what you mean. Like it's all the same. Like it's like it. You don't
Right.
see prejudice in that way. But somebody would argue from the opposite and say that, well, it's like when you say, oh, I'm colorblind. I don't see color. And then you have
Right,
somebody
right,
come in
right.
and say, well, that's kind of an issue too because you're not paying attention to
Exactly.
the injustices
Right.
because of that shit.
It's almost
I'm
like
colorblind. I'm
if the
colorblind.
horseshoe
I use any sort of crayon.
if the horseshoe was an island or like a platform that people could stand on,
Yeah.
these two people would be standing at the edge and
Yeah.
their tips could touch.
Yeah. Yeah, their penis tips.
Like they could touch
Absolutely.
tips, I think. But
I love it.
oh man, what the fuck are we
The
even
idea
talking
of
about?
touching tips somebody is the wildest thing ever to me.
You've never
Yeah.
touched tips?
Like I feel like that's something that I would ask a gay person about, and they'd be like, "I've never done that. Why are you asking me about?"
Well, they've
Well, I mean,
absolutely done
they've
that,
definitely
but just
done
by
it.
sheer.
They've probably
like,
I-
done.
they
They've
might
probably
have
done
not-
crazier shit than that.
They probably done crazier than that, but they probably haven't done that.
They
They're
put-
like, I've
here's-
never
here's-
just rubbed the head of my dick on another dick. No,
I don't
but
believe that.
I've
I don't believe that. I don't
definitely
believe that.
Put my
Is
whole
that
head
cr-
in some dude's ass.
That's what I'm saying. How is that? How is that? That's way crazier.
And it's like, what? I guess I could see how that could be better than like just
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like they do that for hours. I don't. But it surely it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
surely it
it's
like
almost
just
like
happens
maybe in the tussle, but like
in the
not
tussle,
like,
in
you
the
know,
in the chaos. Yeah,
in the
I don't think they
tussle,
stand.
not like-
I don't think they stand with
Gingerly
each other.
Touch our tips. No, I think they do though. Like if they're fancy gays, like instead of having like rapiers and stuff, you know how like when people are doing like and all
Pinky
that
out?
shit. Yeah, like they're like, oh, we're fancy gays. And nobody carries swords anymore. No one has sabers. No one has fucking rapiers or cutlasses or anything like that. They don't have any of that shit. So now they just use their
Fancy.
penises
I like to jerk off fancy with like with my pinky
with
out.
your pinky out. I've never thought about doing that, but now you've opened
I've
my
never
mind.
thought about that
do-
until this very moment.
Dude, sip some tea in one hand and then beat off in the other hand with your pinkies out. That's it right there, dude.
That's
it.
insane.
That's it.
That is crazy.
your pinky erected the whole time. It cannot go down at all.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
You look at your pinky to remind you what your dick should be doing.
And
You know,
look,
it should be up.
when you bust,
Always.
you have to bust with dignity because that's the one thing. Because
yeah,
usually
your
people,
facial expressions cannot change.
yeah, you can't be like one of those.
You
and,
gotta
like,
say
squinch.
Cheerio afterwards.
You gotta be.
You gotta bust in Cheerio.
You just like if you're gonna make a sound, you have to be contained to like, and then you're done. Just, and then that's it. Fascinating.
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 Yeah, the I don't know. Man.
I feel like that's all
Whatever.
Sargon fucking. That's like Sargon.
jolly good.
I appear to have come.
Goddamn, I have a cough. I have a cough. I have no idea where it came from. A lot of people are sick right now. I don't know what that's about.
I've been avoiding anyone that's coughing. I was just in the sauna earlier, and this fucking Polynesian dude came in, and he just like coughed twice, and I fucking ran out. I
Is
was
he
like,
really
I'm
huge?
out of here.
Was
Of
he
course
huge?
he was.
He walked in,
so
and
big.
you got pulled towards him a little bit. Everything got yanked towards him a little bit. And you're like, God damn it! One of these
You think a
motherfuckers.
skinny?
God,
Well,
I hate
first of all,
these guys.
you think a skinny Polynesian's walking into a sauna? No way.
Yeah, no way.
Now they ate him. They ate him in the womb.
Yeah, dude, I've only seen like one skinny Polynesian. He's in the UFC, and that's it. And everybody else is just a massive fucking monster.
You know what's
then there's
scary?
Max Holloway. That's it.
You know what's scary? I really feel like them and black people should not be allowed to breed and make children. I feel like black
right.
people
Yeah, when
probably
you-
just should not be
crazy
able
thing
to
to
breed
say.
and have children.
But they do
'Cause
make
just
The Rock,
build,
though.
They just build large creatures.
They do make
You
The
can't
Rock.
have a bunch of those running around.
The Rock is a example of just Polynesian genetics and a giant black dude's genetics, and it's just like Jesus Christ, look at this. I mean, sure, his ass is full of steroids, but
Yeah.
even before
He was a
goddamn
roid
house.
head. Did you see young
Yes.
Rock?
Yeah, 15 years old, and he looks
That's
like he's 30.
disgusting. No
He
one
looks
should
he's
look
30.
like that.
Can I say something about The Rock that I don't know if it's controversial or what, but
Probably
I feel
not,
like
go.
it's kind of annoying to me that I feel like he's one of the few people that you're not allowed to dislike, even though there's no real, like, he hasn't really done anything to justify that amount of cultural goodwill. Like, he's just kind of there and he's in everything, but like, he's not, like, on that Joe Rogan podcast, he was like fairly uninteresting, and
Oh, that
he's just,
was
I just
that
don't.
I
was-
thought that was a
wait.
very uninteresting version of The Rock because
Hold on.
From
We-
what
no,
I
I
know
I
about
think
him
that's
as an
I
athlete,
think that's The Rock.
You're right. So I am completely self-aware that I shouldn't be as big of a fan of The Rock as I am because I know he's extremely fake. What I mean by that is his persona, what he puts on, this super happy, positive guy doing all this dumb shit. I
It's
know
annoying.
it's fake as fuck. I am completely aware, but he's one of the few people on this planet Earth that I've bought his. He partnered with JBL, made headphones. I bought them. He partnered with Under Armour, made lifting shoes, and I bought them. I never do that, but there's something about, I think, just he's given me a lot of value in motivation because just he works out incredibly hard. I love just that he does, but there's a lot of people that hate that shit completely. They hate I get up at this time and I'm always in the gym around this time because it's like, yeah, because you have all the resources, you can do it. So a lot of people hate that shit because they're like, well, yeah, you, Kevin Hart, all these people can be buff. You have chefs, you have everything you want. Even when you cheat meal, your cheat meals aren't truly cheat meals. So people get pissed off at that stuff. But then there's also The Rock. I guess he's been caught recycling content and doing there's this. I've been wanting to make a video about this, but I haven't gotten around to it. There's this first time blank, first time seeing, first time listening, first time. 90% of all of that content is just completely fraudulent. It is stuff that people have heard, seen, tasted, whatever they all before, but they're just now doing it in a controlled environment and making it appear like it's the first time, especially when it's something really popular for algorithmic purposes. First time hearing fucking Mr. Brightside. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. There was a drummer, there was like a famous drummer that's like, first time hearing fucking, it was a Michael Jackson. It might have been Smooth Criminal or it was something like that. And I'm just like, millions of views. And so The Rock, he got caught doing something similar to this. I don't remember what it was, where it's like, oh, he recycled something from 2017 and did it just last year, like at the end of 2023. So there's a lot of people like, oh, this guy is really fake. And he's very, one of the reasons why Vin Diesel and him were butting heads because they're so similar and that they have huge egos and they need to be the top bill and they need to be like, he's one of the reasons why the fucking DC didn't do very well because he was supposed to fight Shazam in the original movie and he's like, I don't want to do that shit. I want my own fucking movie. So then they're okay, we did that.
Oh yeah.
Then we want to do this and he's like, no, I want and then he made it to where people were completely uninterested, right?
Yeah, I read somewhere that he has a contract. He has like a specific contract stipulation
Him
in
and
all
Vin
the things
Diesel.
that he does where he can't lose. Like he's not allowed to lose.
Yeah,
in
if
his movies.
If you look
Which
at
is
that
crazy.
fight between him and Vin Diesel in Fast 5, it is one of the funniest fucking things I've seen in an action movie. And I love cheesy 90 action films. They're some of my favorite genres to watch. And so that's when Fast 5 joined that genre. And when they're fighting, it's such a stalemate, and there's like no blood or anything on. It's one of the dumbest things where their egos got in the way that none of them could look weak. And it's just like, what the hell was even the point of this scene? When like they fought, crashed through walls and windows, fucked each other up mercilessly, and they were like fine. Like maybe a drop of blood, I can't remember. But they were so stalemated that I'm like, nothing happened in the slightest to advance any type of like, let's see who's the biggest and the baddest or anything like that. And because they just couldn't let it. I'm sure somebody was supposed to come out on top originally when it was probably written, but then they're like, no, it's not going down that way. But anyway, I think more and more people are starting to realize that The Rock kind of sucks. And I think one big thing that's going to have things change is him being on Joe Rogan and being so boring. Didn't address how Joe Rogan would shit on him all the time about being a fake natty, right? He's fake. He acts like he said he hasn't taken steroids since he was 18, which is hilarious. And the Arnold Schwarzenegger mini docuseries came out on Netflix. And, you know, he doesn't usually talk about steroids, Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though obviously that's all they do. But he's very open about it in this documentary. And I love that he did that. And I'm like, this was so needed culturally that
yeah, totally.
There's going to be pressure on The Rock to be like, well, I'm as big, I'm bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I don't take steroids. Shut the fuck up.
The thing is this, right? Like I had a period of time where our friend Joe, when we were Christmas part of it, so we all worked out a lot because of him. It's a huge thing. Joe, our friend, is a body builds. He loves it. A huge part of his life, right? We went through this period of time where we were like watching like a bunch like Generation Iron, Pumping Iron, all that stuff.
Hell yes.
And all of those bodybuilders are like, yeah, we use roids, but using steroids is not gonna get you where I am. It's not just that. Like using roids, yeah, you'll get bigger, of course. You'll very likely die because you probably don't know how to regulate how much you're using and the shit you're doing with it. But you cannot just use steroids and get to where I'm at. That's just not how it's going to work. I work way harder than just steroids. Yeah, and I feel like that's fine. I feel like that's so fine.
Well,
to
it
say.
is fine once you explain it to anybody. That's the whole thing. Like
not the masses. The masses are not going to be like, so if I use steroids, I'll be like The Rock. It's like, well,
no. See, but they only think that because they're lying.
Your heart's just going to enlarge and you're going to die. You fucking just idiot.
See, they only think that because they think that now because they won't tell them the fucking truth.
I agree, but disagree at the same time because I feel like people you'll show people like you'll show people like, here's my diet. Here's my exercise regimen. Here's all this shit. I do use these supplements to help me rebuild back up. Because Rock is like 50 something. His body's just not able to rebuild to give him that kind of size anymore. It just can't. He can't do that anymore.
Well, he never was primed to be that. Like when he was in his late 20s, that was probably steroid free Rock. And that was probably his maximized. He would retain a lot of fat because that was him. Like if you look at him when he was starting to become a superstar, he seemed pretty natural. And then once he got into the movies is when he started taking an insane amount of illegal shit. Well, illegal, I would say
probably like
his biggest was when he did
like a little bit after joining the Nation. That was probably him at his like most physical, like that's how The Rock looks.
Yeah,
he's a big dude.
I just think he was always, there was nothing that was saying, if he was doing anything, it was probably just like, not anabolic steroids, but something else to help him like sustain himself, like what you would call like other type of performance enhancing drugs like EPO or something, like that gives you an edge in stamina and endurance. But anyway, we don't need to get into all that, but it's one of those things that there's a lot in the bodybuilding industry and everything. Most people nowadays are completely open about it, and they say, and everybody understands this because there's a lot of idiots in the bodybuilding industry that watch, but they understand this. They're like, okay, if I want to look like Mike O'Hearn, for example, I need his genetics, I need all the shit that he's stacking, and I need to work out about 8 hours a day. Like I need all that shit, and I need to be pretty clean when I eat. Like you need a huge recipe. They understand this. They know they're never going to look like this fucking monster. But he says, Mike O'Hearn says that he's natural, and this is the problem. That but people in the bodybuilding industry, since we're all kind of knowledgeable, we know better. But since
Guys,
other people
please look up a picture of Michael Hearn, dog. Look up a picture of that motherfucker and tell me he looks like he's a natural human.
So this is
that
what
nigga
people
looks like a Ninja Turtle, dog. That is not. He looks like he has a shell on his back. That is not a natural person.
So Michael Hearn says. So people call him because there's an anabolic steroid that people used to use back in the day called Trenbolone. And so people call him Myco Tren because it's like it's so it's so stupid. But anyway, just extrapolating on that shit back to The Rock, he's guilty of lying his ass off. People are, I feel like they're starting to kind of sour to him a little bit. They know about his. There's people that are making good videos showing how selfish he is in the movie in his industry and his $7 buck films or whatever the fuck his production company is. How they're realizing a bunch of stuff. So now to your point, Chris, that I think more and more people are starting to rub to the idea that like, okay, this guy's he's cartoonish. Like he's not a real person.
He just always struck me as like a very fake person, like the entire time. Like ever since I ever first became aware of him, and I was like, all right, well, it's not a big deal. Like I don't care necessarily. It's not. Yeah. It's not important to me. I mean, but, like it's weird. That,
anytime
like, he's culturally this so that he's culturally so relevant.
I understand who he is. I'm still a fan of him. Obviously,
well, look at anytime you see somebody that is overly nice, like on camera. More times, it's not that they're a bad person. It's just that is a fake persona, right? Like
it's just whether or not like these are corroborated. Like there are plenty of people who are that nice and the stories are corroborated about them. You know what I mean? Like interpersonally, like you have like people like Jack Black who like even off camera, a lot of people have just talked about like being like, wow, he's a really pleasant fucking guy. Like
he's
genuinely,
a cool
like
dude,
really
but he's not
dope.
doing all that wacky shit off camera though.
That's true. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like it doesn't mean that you're bad. It's just you're putting on a thing, and The Rock tries to act like, no, this is me, and I'm like, come on, guys, it's anybody. Extrapolate it to anybody. It's just anyone that's like they raise their voice. It's like another octave than their normal speaking voice, and they're recording the hey, what's going on, guys? You know, I'm like, well, that's not you when you're sitting at home at dinner. Like, oh man, this spaghetti's so good. Like you'd be like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
You'd kill him is what you do. You'd be like, this is a fucking pod person. This is not my son or friend or mom or whoever the fuck this is.
Do you remember
fucking alien?
Did you see that TikTok that it went viral of that girl? She's about to eat her breakfast, and so she is being like over exaggerating.
Oh yeah, the dance thing.
And then you see that girl in the background just looking at her like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And everyone's like, "That's us. We represent her in the background."
We definitely talked about that on the podcast too, because like I remember there was a big hullabaloo about that because people were talking about how like, man, what a jerk that girl is for judging someone or something, and it's like, dude,
her best
come
life.
the fuck on, shut up. It's like, I bet she's way more miserable than this person eating their breakfast. It's like, I can't stand the internet.
Yeah, it's like people just don't understand. They're like, well, you think that's genuine. You think that fucking broad is like I said, she'll be at home at fucking 8 in the morning, ready to eat her breakfast, and she's bouncing around and like, get the fuck out of here.
Get out.
He said, kill her.
Kill her.
Kill him.
Kill him.
Kill him dead.
All right, kill him dead. Shoot him in the heart.
Take his pants off. Rip him in half. Rip him in 2 pieces. I want to see 2 of him. 2 pieces.
I want to
left
see him
right.
I want to see him elevated high above the stadium, with his back splayed open, like an eagle.
Like a fucking
I want his insides dangling below his feet. I want him
blood
ripped.
eagle.
I want him disemboweled.
I want this man hung upside down over a storm drain and sawed from the asshole down. I want him dead. That's all I'm saying.
That's so disgustingly fucking pleasant. Like, you saw him in half and everything falls down the storm drain. There's an empty body there. He dropped the body down there.
Crazy.
I kind of forgot
that's a real torture method a real method of execution, by the way. People would do that. It's insane.
That is, dude, medieval torture is some of the most insane shit I've ever read. That like you can't believe. It almost makes me ashamed to be a person when I think about, oh my God, our species was thinking about doing this shit to people, and they did it.
They're different.
Well, I mean, clearly, I don't. But it's just one of those things where I recognize that I'm a human, and it's like the capabilities that humans are able to.
Those are Neanderthals. Those are Homo Neanderthals.
I mean, it wasn't
we're
that
more
long.
Homo
that-
sapien.
It wasn't
You
that
have
long
that
ago.
capability. You have that in you. You as
No, I
a human
don't.
being,
Look,
as a human being, you have that innate in you.
I don't
you
have
do.
that.
Okay, let me put it
I
this way.
don't.
Oh,
I don't
wait
think
a
I was
minute.
born with that.
We've had conversations like this before, and we just didn't believe you about, like, say, if someone, did something horrific to Lily in front of you, and then you have a chance for revenge, and you said that you wouldn't do shit. And I'm just like,
The thing is this, right? In
You
the
wouldn't be
moment,
all
I can say that right now.
Uh-huh.
I would try not to retaliate because I would understand that me hurting them back is not going to change anything. I'm saying
Right.
that right now.
well,
It's not in a moment. I'm
But
very
you also
real of that.
understand.
I'm very
But
real
you also
about that.
understand. You
I
also understand that you are
that
that
in
you are
the
an
moment,
animal.
I could be very different.
what about retribution? What about fucking
What is
avenging?
that gonna change?
It's not about changing. It's just like, then what's the point of putting people in fucking prison? You know what I mean?
Well, you put people in prison. No, you put people in prison so they can understand what they did wrong.
Well,
That's
do
why
wanna
you
cer-
do that. That's why you're
I do
supposed to do
wanna-
that.
I do want to
That's the purpose
clarify.
of the punish
No,
them.
you're doing it to punish them.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to punish them.
No,
You're not
it
supposed to.
absolutely. Because if we were trying to make them think about what they're doing, you wouldn't put them in extremely horrible living conditions.
No. That is prison here. That is prison here. That's here prison. When you impersonate somebody, you're supposed to incarcerate them, detain them so they cannot do the same thing they
Yeah,
did before.
you're thinking about rehabilitation, like
Well,
in
that's what
other
it's supposed to be.
Western
That's
developed
what it's
countries.
supposed to
But we're talking about the United States.
That's
Like, I
supposed
don't
to
live
be.
anywhere
To be
else.
fair, most countries. I mean,
Well,
Most European
most countries' prison aren't great.
yeah, if we're
at all.
if we're going to talk about
Like,
collectively.
That's true. That's true.
maybe
What
like
it's supposed to be.
Sweden, maybe like Sweden or Norway.
Yeah, we're talking
maybe.
about the penis
What-
countries. Like those
What-
northern
yeah.
penis countries, for sure, they're better.
penis-
what it's supposed to be. Like the idea, like, hey, this person that committed a crime. We take like a person that steals a loaf of bread should not be hung by the gallows.
Kill him! I want him dead. I want him shot.
yeah.
I want him shot 50 times in the neck.
Let's say
In the
I read
neck.
Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones is like, oh, the Night's Watch is full of a bunch of cutthroats and rapists and murderers. The vast majority of them are like petty thieves that stole food to eat because the world for regular people sucks dick. That is the most people that are in prison. They were like selling drugs so they can eat and shit like that. They should not become legal slaves.
Of course.
That's the
No,
thing.
no, see, but that's kind of my my
But like a
idea
person
of,
harming me, or a person doing something directly evil to me, like harming somebody I love or something like that, I would want to understand that, like, clearly this person did this and they hurt me very badly, but me killing them, all it's gonna do is just make it. I'm just gonna kill them. That's it. Other than I
awesome.
hope they could figure out what they did wrong, understand what they did wrong, and
Yeah, here's the thing.
they had
never
that
do it again.
chance.
But
They had
granted,
they
that
had
is
that chance.
that is the moment where, like, right now, where that's not happening to me, and I have a mind to think about it. If someone hurt Lily in a moment, I'd very well just probably like attack them and harm them.
Primal, rip your clothes off and
Exactly.
charge them like a fucking like a bear.
Like a yeti.
You gotta make sure you rip your clothes off first, though.
Look, in a modern world, generally I don't know, if someone's swinging on me or something, I know in a modern world that, like, I'm not going to retaliate because the fact that they've swung on me is enough information for a proper retaliation. It's like, oh, I'm pressing charges. They just assaulted me. I win by not doing anything specifically. But if this is like medieval times, dude, nah. Be careful.
Medieval times, fun. I haven't been in medieval times in a minute. You guys ever been?
I went there 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
You went to medieval times 4 years ago?
Me and Lily went for a date.
That is a bafflingly recent.
Dude, they have a crazy good soup. I don't know what the fuck it is. It probably has some chicken
They have
stock in
some
there or
sort of
something.
fucking like milky, like fucking potatoy broth soup there.
That's some shit.
It's delicious.
That I was like,
It's
this
delicious.
is crazy. What the hell are they putting horse cum? What is this? It was really
Horse
good.
cum's delicious if that's horse cum. It's fucking fantastic.
horse cum.
Yeah, that was the show's fine, but the food's pretty good.
My
It was
team
fun.
won, so I was happy. I was like, yay. It was a black
hate-
guy, too.
Oh,
it was a black
shit.
guy in the team, the yellow and black, and he won.
Wait.
I was like, let's go.
What are you
Fuck
talking
with
about?
that. Oh, medieval
With,
times.
the fights. The
The-
medieval time, they have like the
Oh,
jousting
yeah,
fights.
yeah,
The
yeah,
sections
yeah.
that you sit in, it depends on what team you're or whoever is representing you.
Yeah, you get
And,
that growth hormone turkey leg or whatever the fuck they give
Yeah,
you.
yeah, of
Bro,
course.
fat. Fat
big
turkey leg.
Last time I went, they had a chicken. They just it was what do you call it? Half chicken or quarter chicken? Quarter chicken.
Yeah,
was
I
quarter
think
chicken.
literally 2007 and 2008 might have been the last time I went. Like one of those years. Like it's.
I want to see
it's
what's
been a
good.
very
Maybe they're
long
killing
time.
each other now. Maybe they're actually
Nah,
like,
they're
fuck,
not
we're
killing
losing
each
money.
other.
We're losing money. We gotta actually kill these.
We gotta
people
step it
now.
up.
Yeah. That
would be amazing if they sent like pedophiles to be executed in medieval times.
I would be at the show all the time.
Dude, I would subscribe.
I
I
could
would be a
not
tier.
watch that
I would be a.
shit.
I would be a
I
tier
could
5
not
sub
watch
to that
shit,
broadcast.
dude.
I would be a
man.
tier 5 sub to that broadcast
100.
easily. Like
I would watch it one time and I'd be like, okay, I've really had enough. I've like really had enough.
You don't
Seeing
think it'd be
people
hilarious
die-
to see a guy on a horse joust a pedophile?
It was so funny.
I went through my Instagram like maybe like 4 days ago, and my Instagram was just the N word and people dying, bro. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's your entire
something
personality.
needs to change.
Emmer, you Emmer. There's a lot of that. There was a lot of that.
Did I
one.
send you that?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I saw one yesterday too. I can't remember whose face it was. It was somebody's.
It's one of those, and it's a thing, a bunch of cats like laughing at you. Like it's a video of a cat like in a laugh track behind it, it's pointing at you. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? What is going on right now?
I just saw straight up gay porn on Instagram, but it was dudes kissing. It was the meme said when the mama bird comes back to feed the chicks or the hatchlings or whatever, and it's just these 3 black dudes just swapping like, and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see this.
I showed
today.
Lily it yesterday. It was some guy that fell on a chainsaw, and Lily was just like, honey, that's not funny. He died. And I was just like, I saw it and I didn't make any noise because I think it was trauma. And my brain was like,
No,
oh.
it's not. Shut up. I hate this this fake thing that you do where you're like, you pretend to be traumatized by the thing you see. You're not traumatized. You
No,
love
there are
it.
things that definitely traumatized me.
Well, then why do
That
you
guy
show it to
turning
other
into
people?
the dolphin traumatized me. That's
Then
why
why
I
do you
can't
show it
watch
to other
that video
people?
anymore.
Why do you show it to other people if it traumatizes you?
Yeah.
Because I'm hurt, you know?
So you want to spread the hurt because you're not a good person.
Have you seen the movie Smile?
No, I have
No.
not seen it.
I'm Smile.
All right,
I'm
Kingston.
Smile. When I get damaged, I'm the damage that shares the damage on other people.
All right,
Because
we'll
I'm
get
like,
into
you
questions.
need this too.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll get into questions after this, but like I do want to bring up the fact like Twitter's turning into basically every Twitter, because it's such a shithole now, is just it's porn, it's live leak, and spam.
Twitter is boring now, man.
That's all it is. It's really boring. It's really annoying.
Twitter's really boring.
There's some I saw a video. To be fair, it was a pretty interesting video of a guy exploding. But I mean, like, I don't know. I'm just kind of. I don't know. Twitter's annoying. It was only funny specifically because it happened to like some guy who's clearly like. I mean, dude, he was messing around with an explosive to plant it on a building, and that's probably not like. I mean, that's probably not a great guy. You know?
Yeah.
If he's walking around with explosives, but he was fucking around with it and he just exploded on a city street. And it's pretty gruesome. But you know,
I don't
it's
see
different
stuff
than
like
it's
that.
different it's different than some innocent dude falling on a chainsaw. Like that's sadder to me. Because like I don't know, man. There's plenty
Twitter
of legal
Twitter
reasons
is
why
like-
you'd be around a chainsaw. You know?
I see things on Twitter every day and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like, it's one video of this guy, like, he was, like, doing something. It was, like, a live video. And then all of a sudden, energy just came out of, like, this fucking valve. And the guy disappeared. He was gone.
Oh, I think I saw that video, too. Yeah, he just disappeared. Yeah.
It was like someone turned might into a real might. Like, force might into a real thing. And he got hit with it and died. And I was like, whoa.
Twitter is just not fun lately.
Well, yeah, because it's X now, man. It's a different thing.
Yeah, I know.
It is now.
It's
now
unfortunate,
X,
man.
And it's Elon ruined it. Cool, awesome.
But Instagram's fucked too, because Instagram is just the N-word and like.
That's you though. You've done that.
It is the weird thing about Instagram's algorithm is that it'll change so quickly if you just watch like 2 videos of the same thing. Like every once in a while, it always tries to rope me back into some bitches shaking their ass or doing something ridiculous.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then if you just watch it fully, then the next suggestion of reels will just be all bitches doing just the most absurd, like, clickbaity shit or whatever.
I wish I could find that.
I get annoyed at Twitter because specifically, just because all of my bookmarks are scissoring compilations doesn't mean that's all I want to see. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I want to see the news.
You want to see? I just watch. I only. I probably don't see all the wild shit because I just check the For You now because the not For You, sorry,
following
or whatever. Yeah, whoever I'm following, because the For You thing has actually been fucked. For me, it's been fucked the entire time because I just want to see what I want to see, and I'm not a fan of machines trying to direct me where to go. Where I'm like, I know what I like, I'm gonna follow what I like, and like I just followed a new YouTube poop channel or page or whatever, and I'm like, oh cool, more content. It was somebody tagged me, and I don't know if you guys saw, it was fucking that old school Lord of the Rings cartoon where fucking Gandalf grabs the ring from Frodo, and for whatever reason he puts it up to his nose, like in his nose, but then he's just like jacking it, like,
yeah,
and then like fucking Frodo is like, what are you doing? Like, it's perfect. He's just fucking. And I was like, why did he? The context of that, though, I'm like, why did he put it up to his nose in the first place? Like, it goes through the tip of his nose, the ring,
whiff, bro.
and then he just makes him fuck the ring. It's fucking cool.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to some questions.
We
got a lot. We got a lot to get through. We got a fuck ton to get through.
Let's try to do 1,000.
Thanks to your support over at patreon.com/SnarkTank. Remember, you can ask us questions if you go over and join one of our tiers. I forget what it is because it's a new year and I'm an idiot. But go on over there. Helps us. Also, leave us some nice reviews on podcast services, Apple iTunes, Spotify, all that shit. It helps us out a ton.
Yes.
And first question of the new year, first question of 2024. Although an episode would have gone live, it's not your first episode of 2024, but whatever, you get it. Your guy Alt wrote in. He says, not a question, but I need you guys to know that your Mask rewrite is eerily close to the Mask comics. It's actually way closer than the movie is. It wouldn't even be out of the realm of possibility.
The Mask comics are fucked.
Yeah, I did hear. This is something that I heard a lot, was that like the Mask comics are actually fucking insane. Like the Mask movie is really good, but it's not a great adaptation of the comics. It's just like a really kind of fun movie with the premise of the Mask. Mm-hmm. But apparently the Mask comics are fucking insane. Like really like
he's
out
a
of
monster.
pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. Never watched. never read them. Maybe I should.
Terrifying.
Comics like that are usually kind of like. The original. I feel like the original TMNT are very similar, right? Like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They don't
fuck
like, around.
They're brutal. Yeah,
they were like they were
kill you.
They got
flossing with,
kill you.
Yeah, they were flossing with people's tendons and shit, like or some nonsense.
They would like wait till you take a shit and they would like rip your taint open and you'd like run around with your taint juice leaking around and like then Donatello would hit you with a stick in your penis till you die.
That's
that was the first issue.
You're like, yo, what the hell? They dragged that off for 17 pages, bro. It did not. That was a 2-page spread. That shit was the fucking whole first comic.
You have no context of the Turtles, just whooping some dude's ass for the first issue, and then you're like, wait, what is this? What?
I like this. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty good way to start.
Yeah.
Here's a simple.
That would hook me in, to be honest.
Here's a simple first question. Or not first question. Well, I guess it is a first question because that last one wasn't a question.
First question.
Homeless trans femme, whose resolution is to fuck. Good luck on that.
Nice.
He wrote in. It says, "Hey, cum boys, what's a game you're anticipating this year?" I got to be honest. I got nothing. This year.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh yeah. That's imminent, right? That's like February.
Yeah, it might be March. Might be March or February. You're probably right.
You might be right. I have no idea.
Remember. I actually can't remember.
I don't remember exactly either. But
March 22nd.
Okay.
So it's pretty fucking close.
It's pretty close. I'm pretty excited because I've played the first one in 2013. Had a hell of a lot of fun with it. I got it on Steam a long time ago, and I'm gonna try to play it again. But shit. I just installed Red Dead Redemption 2.
Me too.
Still, oh, dude, I'm a little sad.
Is it good on the Steam Deck?
I don't know.
I don't have one, so I can't even.
I got my Steam Deck and I'm trying to put as many games as I can on it.
Oh, try it out. Try it out.
Guess
Yeah,
I
report
will.
back.
Dude,
I can't imagine that it's gonna run well, but like.
Have you seen those car mods that on Reddit?
BG3 works pretty well on there, so I don't know.
Have you seen?
Where you drive like a fucking Lamborghini through the Old West?
Yeah, so I just found out. I was so sad because last night I was so hyped. I was like, I'm gonna fucking drive some cars, but it's only Red Dead Online, and it's a specific server. There's a specific server, Red M, where these people, you'll join this Discord, you can get into that server, and they're experimenting with car mods there. And it fucking made me so sad because I was so hyped to like just play single mode, just the story, and just fuck around with cars in it and stuff.
Get in a car.
So no one's done it yet,
dude.
No one's done it yet. I was like, this game's been out too long for someone to not have figured this shit out yet. So
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe with the Grand Theft Auto source code being out there, because GTA 5 had their source code leaked a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Maybe, and you have to imagine that it's not that dissimilar to Red Dead's. Like, I feel like source code is kind of like engines, where like they're kind of similar throughout.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe that'll help them put some bullshit into Red Dead 2.
I sure hope so.
I love Red Dead 2 more as I get further away from it, and as I jump into it every now and again, I love it more.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I really thought it would be the opposite. Like, I really thought it was like, oh, this is a very like linear kind of story driven game. It's like very, very narrative heavy. I probably am only going to play this once. Nah, man, it's so good. And I've noticed that a lot of people are coming around on it as well. Like, I remember there was a lot of. It was a critically acclaimed game and all that. It sold a ton. That's always going to be the case for Rockstar games. But like, I specifically remember like a lot of people. There was that Jakey video. Who, by the way, I agree with that video a lot.
What do you
and
say
like
about
a lot of
that?
people kind of. He's basically like talking about how their mission structure is really dated, which it is 100%. Like, it's very linear and it's kind of annoying. But I don't know, man. The rest of that game is just so fucking objectively amazing that I really don't think. And I tweeted it earlier, just that scene where he's talking to the nun by the trains. And I'm just like, I don't know if I've played any game where a character feels more real before or since Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, Arthur Morgan feels like a real fucking dude. Like, in a way that I can't fucking believe. Like, the next most believable character is probably like so far away from him in terms of like on the scale. Like, it's insane.
He's just so great. He's just so great of a character. Like, I think there are better characters in games, but I don't think there's better characters you play as.
I don't think there are better. I don't think there's a better character.
I don't think there's better characters you play as. Like, I don't
I've
think
really
you
racked
play
my
as a
brain
better
trying
character
to.
than Arthur.
I've really tried to rack my brain on like trying to figure like is there like what's like who's a better character?
I would say
Who
Garrus.
would you say? Garrus?
Yeah, I would say Garrus. I would say Will.
Will
Will who?
Will from Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh.
Garrus, Will, Karlach maybe too. Your homie from Dragon Age 1. Your best, your side homie. I almost said the N-word 3 times because I was trying to remember him.
That's crazy.
He's the dude that actually becomes a Grey Warden. Also, I think there's a lot, but I think Arthur is the
Alistair.
Yes, I think Alistair. I think there's a lot of really good ones.
I think
just
Alistair
don't think
sucks.
I like Alistair.
Yeah, I don't like him. I mean, he's fine. I don't dislike him. I just don't. He doesn't mean anything to me. Like, he's fine, but he's one of the least memorable. Like, I don't know. Maybe I should play it again. But I think maybe because I think of more of like of Yarhowl and like Logang. I think of more of the cunts in that game more than actually likable people. There's Yarhowl is such a piece of shit. Like that, what a great villain, because he's such a piece of shit. Like, I think about Dragon Age Origins, and then I get angry because I'm just like like that fucking guy. I want to fuck him up so badly, and then you have to wait for a while. But
I want to beat you. I want to hurt you.
Again, going back to Red Dead, Micah is that personified.
Micah is the most dislikable motherfucker ever.
So much. that like I
hate that.
couldn't wait to.
I love how much I hate Micah.
Yeah,
Mike
it's
is
like,
racist,
you're like, he's
misogynistic,
he's everything.
disrespectful, liar, piece of shit.
He's a
ever.
fucking whisperer.
And then he ends up working with the cops, bro. That's the
entertains
worst,
fucking
dude.
Dutch's paranoia and like it pushes him over the edge. Like he entertains his madness. Yeah, fucking rat sees everything wrong. Like he even
Everything
looks
bad
like a
about
piece of shit
person
too.
Micah is.
Like he looks
Yeah.
like such a rat too. You're like, oh man, they fucking nailed
And
it.
you gotta save him in the beginning too, because you gotta be saved in the beginning, and you're
In
like
the jail
you
where
save
you
him,
pull the wall out.
If
in
you
the
play
game
the,
reward, just like, look, okay,
Yeah.
this guy sucks dick. You saved him. Here's the best feature in the gun, the game, dual weapons. Here you go. You deserve that for at least saving this piece of shit and going in a strawberry and lighting it the fuck up, dude. He went in you guys go in the strawberry, you go in to save him. You break him out on some bullshit to get the fucking crank and you pull the wall out. And it's
You
like, all right,
pull the
cool.
wall out.
This is some serious BS. Leave now. He runs to the bank, robs the bank. And
he has to
then
go.
you're just
He has
like-
to go get his guns. He has to go get his guns. He's so
And it's like,
instead of
why'd you
leaving, he's
do
like,
this?
I need my gun. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great.
I
But Arthur,
don't know,
I
man.
agree. Arthur's the shit though. He really because I'm racking my
great.
brain too. I'm racking my brain. I'm like, who have I felt so like?
I think no one. I think Arthur's the best you play as. I would 100% think he's the best you play.
Because there are characters that you brought up that like I love Garrus, and I think Garrus is definitely one of my favorite characters ever. But like the thing, I think there's a difference between like I like Garrus a lot, like I like him, but like in terms of like how real they feel, like there's something about Arthur in Red Dead Redemption 2 that feels like fucking tangibly real. Whereas like
I
Garrus
think
is
the world,
he's
the
like
world
a
is
real
also so grounded.
Garrus
as well.
is real, but he's like real in a video gamey way. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's not that
Like,
it's a bad thing necessarily, but it's
grounded
definitely
nature,
truncated.
The grounded nature of the world they're in, you know.
Yeah,
It definitely helps. It adds
You
to
know.
it for sure.
Because like
Yeah,
even in
100%.
Baldur's Gate, right? Like Baldur's Gate, I think Will is an amazing character because Will's story is the realest story out of all of theirs. Like
I killed
everyone
Will.
has some sort of wild thing going on, and Will is like literally my dad was the leader of like protecting the city, and all I wanted to do is make my dad happy, so I made a pact with
Is
the
Will the
demon
guy-
to protect
That's
people.
why-
Wait, hold on. Is Will the guy that attacks Karlach in the camp?
well, he wants to.
He wants to attack Karlach. Yes.
Wait,
Can
did
you kill him?
Yes, you can. You can
Oh,
kill
whoops.
pretty much anybody.
Yeah, I killed him.
Well, I mean, you. So
I killed him
you-
immediately.
You didn't trigger. You probably didn't trigger the showdown like outside of the camp.
No. He was in the camp.
How
and
can
I
you
killed him.
avoid that?
So
I don't know.
you can. So the way you avoid because you don't have to. You don't have to. You can send people to your camp instead of them rolling with you. So, like
Right,
for
yeah.
example, when I first met Asterion and I met fucking the wizard, I can't remember his name right now, Gale. I sent them to
Gale
my camp
sucks.
immediately because I was like, I don't want to roll with dongs. You know, I'll wait till I gather.
I did the exact fucking same thing. I did the exact same thing. I was like, I don't want these men around.
I did last game. My last game, it was my character, Shadowheart, Lysel, and Karlach.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
saying,
Yeah.
dude.
And
And
I
my
was just
character
like-
and my character was a woman too, and that was my
Let's-
exact playthrough. I was just a gang of witches basically.
Let's go.
running through this place.
And I was just like, I don't want to do that again. So now I'm going to wait till I get Jaheira, which is the biggest problem in the game. You can't romance Jaheira. I want some of
That's
that
fucking
old pussy,
dumb. I wanted
bro.
some old pussy, man.
I want
Like,
some of that old pussy. Because she's still fine for being old as hell, too.
Dude, yeah, she's like 2 billion and fucking like she's looks, you know, she's starting to gray a little bit, understandably, obviously, but she ain't like
I'd still put
wrinkly
work in.
old hag level.
I'd knock the dust out of it, bro.
Yeah,
I'd clear
that
it
was-
out.
I mean,
I get
because
it,
yeah, it's she's perfectly fine pussy. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was upset that they barred that. I feel like the modders need to somehow fix that. They need to,
I don't know, man.
They need to
I
add
think they're
some
making.
shit.
I think they're making DLC. I think they're making DLC, or they're making like another story.
Oh, that'd be really cool. And I
Like
also
an
want to les
attachment?
out with the night song and her bitch. You know.
Bro,
One thing
I wanted the
look,
night song to pick me up, bro.
look, one thing I will say.
Alien,
Yeah. What's
One
up?
thing I will say about what Kingston said is like, I think that what Kingston said is objectively true. Like I think he's probably like the best character in video games. But honestly, like I really like that's my personal opinion. But he's definitely like the best protagonist
Playable
that you play.
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
play.
yeah, for
like,
sure.
Bar none. Like I can't even imagine. I can't. It doesn't even come to mind any even close.
Without
really.
a fight. I think it's probably him then Solid Snake.
Yeah. Everybody.
Maybe. But
everybody,
Like
even him's like
by
far,
a mile
you know what
is
I mean?
him.
You can.
It's kind of like how
he's so relatable.
It's kind of like how you know how PewDiePie was like the most subscribed channel, and then the second most subscribed channel was like 50 million below him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where it's like Arthur's really fucking high to the point where like the next character might be the next character, but he's still so far away. But as far as like 2024 games coming out, like I don't know, man. Like it's it's a light year for me and for what I like. I think this year I'm gonna go into my backlog and finish a bunch of games that I probably should have finished.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to finish Grand Theft Auto. I want to finish Grand Theft Auto 4 because I'm really liking it. I want to platinum some games too. I want to platinum games that I specifically love. Because those are the only games that I've platinumed. I've only platinumed Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Crash Team Racing, and Ape Escape. Those are my only 4 platinums, I think. And so I think I'm going to like delineate them. I was like, okay, Shadow of the Colossus is probably next. I'm going to try the Spyro games. Maybe Bioshock? I don't know. Bioshock I heard was kind of hard, but we'll see.
I always have Final Fantasy 7, man. I'm very excited for that.
Oh yeah,
that's imminent as well.
Rebirth or whatever the fuck it's called. What's the other one called?
First Rebirth.
Yeah, this is Rebirth, and the first one was just
Retrograde or something like that.
No. The first one was just Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Then it was Intergrade, that
Intergrade,
like DLC piece.
I see.
Final Fantasy. I'm just not. I can't pretend to be into Final Fantasy anymore. Like I've tried.
I love 7, especially the remake of 7. I think it's so good.
I like 7, but like JRPGs just have this dragging problem where like they just get to it. Like they just get to a point where like a lot has happened narratively, and then like here's a town. Go meet the people in the town. And I'm just
For
like
7. I think 7 has a moment where like it's really slow, and then it ramps up crazy fast, and it's a really cool ending. And I'm like, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah, 7.
But it is
7,
a JRPG. They just drag. That's what they
7
do.
has that moment, and then 16 has that moment as well. And I remember specifically going through them, and I'm like, damn, these are from 7 to 16. That's a 9-game difference, and the problem that I hated about the first one is still here. So like, this is just clearly like a thing that people love about these games that I cannot.
Well, yeah, every Final Fantasy game has a moment where you take a step back and you're like, all right, cool. Now things are like more mundane. That's how most RPGs are in general. Because it's more like, all right, here's a moment to chill. You know,
I get it.
That's why
totally
like games like Baldur's Gate are crazy, because Baldur's Gate, the scale keeps going up. You know?
I get it.
It's like,
oh,
Baldur's Gate to me, this to this. It's like, what the hell?
I get RPGs and I understand it. Like Baldur's Gate, you want to be like 100-hour experience, but like I just don't. I rarely ever play a game that has a 30+ hour runtime and has justified that runtime. Like, I just don't think games are good enough to withstand like over 30, 40 hours of gameplay. Like they're fun, but they're not like. Last of Us Part 2 is a great example of that, actually. Like, I remember playing The Last of Us Part 2, and when I got to the halfway point, I remember being like, I've seen everything that this game has to offer, and there's still 50% of it left. And that bothered the hell. Even Red Dead 2, like we're talking about Red Dead 2 like a lot, like, and we praise it. Like I love Red Dead 2, but that's a similar game where like I feel like you could cut a lot of that game out and still have an amazing fucking game. You know,
I would
none of the main story.
I just want the map smaller. I don't. The map doesn't need to be as big, in my opinion. It's just I'm like,
the fact that you have the rest, you have Red Dead 1's map at the bottom of Blackwater. If you go to Blackwater and go down,
it's ridiculous.
The whole other game's maps down there. I was like, what? I was like,
deeply unnecessary. It's
cool.
Don't
need it to be. Yeah, it is cool. But
that was something that I realized over the course of like the last, like during winter break, I've been playing a lot of old games. Like I finished Alan Wake 2 twice. And that got me into playing, like, I want to play Alan Wake 1 again. I finished Alan Wake 1 in like 9 hours, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. This is great. This is paced so well. Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space remakes that just came out last year as well were just like snappy.
Right.
I think RE4 might be damn near a perfect video game, the remake.
The remake?
I think that's one of the closest to like a actual perfect video game.
It's close.
It felt
There's
really good.
no point in that game where it's not awesome.
Well, that's how I felt about the RE2 remake, actually.
I like RE2 more than 4.
RE2 is better, yeah.
No, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's better. I think 4 is actually a better game. But
I don't think so.
I think that 2 is really fun because of the nature of what 2 is.
I think there's some dumb shit in 4, like the minecart madness. Fucking that's so
such
dumb.
a fucking lit experience. It's
fun.
dumb.
Don't get me
It's
wrong.
dumb.
It's fun,
Don't get
but
me
it's
wrong.
so stupid.
That shit is
It's so
lit,
dumb.
dog.
The thing,
Look,
the
Dude,
only,
that experience
have fun
on
doing it.
PS2 was horrible. It was horrible on PS2. dog.
It was actually kind of
terrible.
challenging too, especially if you play it on professional. It was damn near impossible to do. It's
Dude, and
it's
the fucking Lake Monster on Professional. I just beat the Lake Monster on Professional. I
Mm.
just beat it. Every time you miss and it submerges again, it heals. So you cannot miss a harpoon before it submerges. So sometimes you just got to take one throw, hit it the one time, and then let it live.
yeah.
And I'm like, this is so stupid. But it's I think that game is like so well paced. I think that 2 what 2 is the nature of survival horror. Like there's a point in 2 right now that I can't get past. You know when you go to the bottom of the facility and you use that
It's been so long.
that herbicide to make the guy that's like got the fucking thorn pierced through his
Oh,
chest
yeah,
fall
yeah,
down,
yeah.
and you get the little thing for your watch. I'm at a point in the game where I can't get past it anymore. So I have no ammo. So literally, like the crawling, shambling plant dudes come at me, and I can't evade them. I can't go any further in the game anymore. Like I'm done.
damn.
Yeah.
I have to restart the game as clear.
Are you on like the highest difficulty?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there you
that
go.
could happen. That could definitely happen.
So I
I ran out of ammo.
genuinely cannot progress in
Dude,
the
the
game.
original though was way worse because the you couldn't. Well, I don't know.
reload
I don't
and
think it's the
move at the
same.
same time.
You literally, first of all, they give you almost no ammo, and then you could literally only kill the zombies by decapitating them. And so, actually, I don't think that's the case in this one, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong.
The shambling ones always get back up. You have to set them on fire.
I see. But I just remember it being a little bit more, like, especially because of tank controlling and all that, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
For
But,
sure.
yeah, but anyway, I guess it was just more, I felt, in Resident Evil 4, it felt like there were some moments that were it takes me out of it because of how wacky the game is. Like, it has
I
some
love it,
moments where
dog.
it's just like, and this
Did you
is
play the
without, absolutely. And
I think 4 is a masterpiece, man. I think it's such a fun video. I
It's
think
great.
Resident Evil
It's- I
4
had
is like
great time playing.
it's Evil Dead 1 and 2, literally.
Yeah, and
It's
so
literally
like,
Evil Dead 1 and 2, but just Resident Evil games.
I guess I just had a better experience overall, and it might be more a nostalgia thing because I always enjoyed Resident Evil 2 technically just for what it was more than Resident Evil 4, even though Resident Evil 4 was better, especially the way the experience, the way you controlled it and everything. Even though going back to the original one, it's still, it's it's a little like, look, it's hard for me to. Yeah, all I'll say is that I would say it's just 2 is just above for me.
Did you guys kill the dog? I killed the dog immediately.
No, I never. No,
Boom!
I never
killed the dog.
I never
I got
killed the
terrified.
pug.
I was like, what is a dog doing here? Shot it.
Never killed. I mean, the thing that annoys me is that there's no
Blew its
like
brains out.
the thing that annoys me is that I was thinking, well, clearly I'm gonna get ambushed or something's gonna happen in the remake. Like if I rescue this dog, there's gonna be a repercussion, but nothing. I was just like, oh,
Did you know
I would have
that
changed that.
Actually, the main game was supposed to be Leon and a dog. He was gonna have like a wolf dog with him. That was gonna be the main game initially before they redid
I'm
it.
glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm glad
That would have been
didn't
sick
happen.
as fuck, dog.
It pissed me off when I have to travel with Ashley. I'm like,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I didn't- the
But
only- the
Ashley's
only
not a
reason-
viable ally. You can't
The
do
only- so-
combos
so-
with Ashley.
I
So
just
the
don't want to
only
look after
reason-
people, man. What you
Yeah,
say?
the only
He's
reason
doing his own thing, bro.
specifically,
He just
the only
helps
reason
you.
that Resident Evil 4, I like Resident Evil 4 a lot. Like, I think the remake's great. But like, the thing that bothered me was that, and granted, it's not a long sequence, but you play as Ashley for a little bit, And that happened.
With the nights when you gotta use the flashlight.
Yeah. And to be fair, that's
sucks.
and to be fair, that's not even necessarily like that bad of a sequence. It's pretty quick and pretty easy. But like,
it is
it's
really
not,
fast.
It's not too bad.
But that, like, I experienced that shortly after playing God of War Ragnarok and not liking Atreus. So, like, immediately, like, I was enjoying Resident Evil 4. I was, like, having such a fun time. I was like, yay. And then they made me switch characters. And I was like, no. Why does everyone have to do this?
Yeah, I don't.
So mad. But it didn't last long.
I'm not.
Dude, honestly,
I've never been a fan of that dynamic ever.
If there's a game where there's two characters, and you're like one older character, you're gonna play as the meek character eventually for one part of the game.
Yeah.
That is how it works.
Do you remember your earliest experience of that where you're like, what the fuck is this?
I feel like playing as Coco Bandicoot in like one of the Crash games. Like Wrath of the Titan or something like that.
It was Crash Bandicoot Warped. It was the third one on PlayStation 1 because there are levels that only Coco can play, and like so you're playing as Coco and you're like on the tiger and you're running on the Great Wall of China or whatever.
I'm like,
and it's
what
like
is this?
this sucks. This isn't Crash.
This?
Where the fuck? What's this dumb girl doing in my fucking game? I fucking hate this girl.
It's like,
but like
I don't want this.
It rarely. I don't know, man. Sometimes I think it works, but it's like it's hard to do. Halo 5 was a great example of it being fucking horrible.
What was it?
Halo 2 is a
Halo
great example
5.
of it being great.
Oh, when you had to be the Guardians?
Yeah.
You had to be that. What was that black dude's name?
A Spartan Locke or whatever.
Yeah,
was his name?
Spartan Tyrone or whatever his name is.
Spartan Luke Cage.
Oh my God. Spartan Cage.
Spartan Luke Cage.
Tyrone.
I was a little Spartan Luke Cage. Spartan Tyrone. That's
Spartan
crazy.
Daquan.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
do you remember that era of video games when they just kept like, instead of just having these famous actors voice characters, they just put them in the games?
They started doing them, yeah.
Yeah,
it's happening a lot now because face and motion capture are a lot easier than like modeling a character from scratch. Like I saw a lot of people complaining about Deborah Wilson a lot on Twitter because she's like in everything.
She came back from Africa. She fucked off for years and then just came back, and now she's in every video game. And I'm like, what's happening?
It's crazy. Like,
and her buggy eyes, man. Her buggy eyes, dude.
She was on Mad TV, and now she's like in basically everything. And people were like, "God damn, I'm sick of seeing this bitch." And I'm like, I get it, kind of, but like at the same time, Deborah Wilson is fucking awesome, and she kills it every single time.
Her acting is amazing.
I like her.
She's great.
Tier of its own.
I just don't want to see her face, bro.
I agree. I agree. Sometimes, like, I think it's fine to use. I think it's fine to use it to use it sometimes. But at the same time, it would be nice to have voice actors. It would be nice to have these actors play characters that don't look like them, because there's an element of believability that's kind of lost in some way.
100%. That's it. That's it right there for me.
Right, because it used to be that video game characters looked very distinct. Like no other character looked like Leon Kennedy, and like no other character looked like fucking Marcus Phoenix, and no other character looked like these people because they were their own characters. But now it's like, because we have real actors playing them, now we're seeing the same video game character in like a bunch of different video games, and now it's like, oh, well, are you in your head? You're like, this doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah,
and it's easier to get over it in like movies and stuff, but
it's a lot easier in movies because we're used to that. That is its thing. In video games, it was a different thing. Now, because I'm like, oh, this is Deborah Wilson. This is not
right. Exactly.
This is not the person. And man, that was happening. Like I said, Halo 5, Detroit Become Human. Like this, there's this thing where I'm just like, bro, like I don't need.
Yeah.
Like Jesse Williams did this for actually a few video games too. He was in fucking 2K. He was like your dad. He was like your canon dad, which made no sense. He wasn't even old enough to be your dad, but he just
canon
was.
Dad.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't care about Jesse Williams. Yeah, sure, he's probably a good actor in his show. What is that? Grey's Anatomy, I think, or one of those things.
Yeah,
but I'm like, what?
It would be nice if it would be nice at the very least if they could like
Caucasian One Piece, Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know. One Piece.
Yeah, I wish they could just tweak the character models a little bit, just to make them at the very least, like make them look different.
Like that's what I would want. Imagine if you were in a video game, they asked you to voice character. Would you want it modeled after your face?
Straight up me.
No,
straight up me.
That's insane. I don't
tummy and all, fucking big ass stomach and all, bro.
Dude, but you're like, yeah, you have to like you're a Spartan, but they make the armor like accommodate your body shape. That'd be fucking amazing.
You know what? Honestly, I feel like it's
Tommy.
honestly, dude. I feel like it's hard for me. Deborah Wilson, like I was a fan of her in live action stuff. Like I loved her on Mad TV and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And I noticed her in video games, but I didn't appreciate her in video games until fucking Savathun in Destiny, where like her voice acting was so good. But she doesn't, it's because she's playing a demon monster that doesn't look anything like her. And because I could separate that, I was like, wow, this is like a really fucking good performance. Every other time I've seen her, I've just seen Deborah Wilson.
Right. Like I'm watching.
And so it kind of gets in the way.
Sorry.
No, you keep going. I was just saying it actually, like, I think sometimes it gets in the way of just like what the actual performance is.
Dude, I was watching, I didn't play, just real quick, I'll let you go.
Yeah,
I was watching, because I didn't play the new Star Wars, the Survivor, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
And I'm watching Deborah Wilson whoop Darth Vader's ass. And I'm like, this is weird. It just feels like I literally, and I've been watching Deborah Wilson for so long. I think I've said on the podcast that she kind of sexually harassed me. she kind of did, and it is what it is. It was still fine. I loved meeting her, but I just wish it didn't look like her because I'm literally I'm thinking of her old roles and stuff that I associate her with, and now she's fighting Darth Vader. And I'm like,
She's whooping on Darth Vader's ass too.
She fucking beats on him, dude.
Beating the shit out of him. I was like, God damn, Vader, you dumb black bitch. You better fucking do something quick.
You don't let Deborah Wilson whoop on you? That's embarrassing.
You
fucking asthma having little fucking punk ass,
fucking cardiac
bug-eyed fucking samurai,
fucking no legs having ass, fucking. Fucking cyborg beating off, grabbing your dick too hard with your robot hands.
Looks like a bug with the samurai fucking helmet on. Like if you just look at his eyes, he just looks like he has like he should be sprout wings and just really pester you and shit. Like fuck out of here, Darth Vader.
Oh man,
dude! He lost his arm, then he lost his leg and arms.
We got another question.
Crazy,
yeah, that's so true. Oh yeah, we should go. Holy shit.
We got another question.
Gotcha.
Gay Jonah Gameson, chief editor of the Gaily Bugler, wrote in.
Very cool.
Says, are there any foods you look at as being gay? Not just in appearance or consumption, but just as a general vibe. I personally think spaghetti and most types of pasta are really gay, but I'm not sure why.
So what is the context of gay? Does he actually mean like homoerotic or like homosexual?
Yeah, I think so. Or just like the general kind of vibe. Like, I'll give you one. Popsicles.
Yeah, I was going to say
popsicles. I think are like incredibly gay.
Frankfurters then.
Not only because, because there's something manly about a Frankfurter.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It depends.
No.
It depends on who you ask.
Phallic about it.
No, but here's what I'm saying. Right? Here's what I'm saying.
How do you eat the popsicle?
A popsicle is like you're sucking on it, you're lapping it up, you're like licking it up the side, and chances are it's like multicolored or like really vibrant, you know,
like a bomb pop.
Yeah,
I eat popsicles like I eat corn cob. So I guess for you guys, maybe
you eat your popsicle like this.
Insane.
That is so fucking. That is so homophobic.
Yes, I do.
You do not. There's no chance in hell you eat popsicles that way.
I do, though.
I don't believe that.
And why do you?
Huh?
And why do you eat them that way?
When I was a little kid, like, hey, eat popsicles like this. And I was like,
So what kind of criminal taught you that?
No, you mean what type of homophobe taught you that? That's what you really mean. You can't eat it this way, King. You can't eat it this way, King. No, that's
what's wrong with being a little phobic?
What's wrong with being a little phobic? I mean, I guess it depends on what you're phobic about, I guess, but like I don't care if you're a clown phobic or whatever the fuck. Fuck clowns.
Clown
stupid. Clowns are stupid as fuck. I mean, I'm not even afraid of clowns, but I just think they're clowns.
I think every clown should have to. I feel like every clown should have to pay a lot of money to be allowed to live. Like if you choose to be a clown, you got to pay a really huge tax.
I like it.
Like
a clown tax. I like that a lot.
Huge tax to be able to allowed to live. If you don't pay it, people come to kill you.
Is that the gayest food though? I think
a popsicle, absolutely. Dude, I one time had a moment where my brother called me out, like kind of like an Ayo moment where I'm just laying in my bed eating a big stick, right? So I'm laying down on my bed, just going to town on a big stick, and it just looks like someone's dunking their penis in my face while I'm just laying on my bed. And he's just like, and he's just laughing at me, and I'm like, well, fuck, how else do you eat ice? Like, you could be like with your homies and just bite the thing. Just be like, oh, I'm just gonna bite this shit. Like, I've seen people bite ice cream cones, like, you know, instead of licking the shit out of it, they'll just
that's
take
so
a bite out of it.
insane.
And I'm
That's
like,
just
how homophobic are you, dude? Just lick that shit.
I would absolutely rather be perceived as gay than bite an ice cream cone.
Than bite an
That's
ice
so
I would-
fucking insane.
I wouldn't, but that's just me.
That's fucking
I
crazy.
don't want
crazy.
if I'm lying down eating a fucking ice cream cone and there's fucking ice cream coming out my nose and shit, like someone busted it in my mouth so much it came out my nose. I would
Has that
never,
happened to you?
You don't have.
I would
what
never
are you
know.
doing?
No, but like I would never let that happen to me. I'd never.
That would more
That's-
likely happen if you bit into it.
Nah, bro, if I bite into it, it's coming out of your fucking nose. You look like you've been through the ringer.
That's like, you would have to like, yeah, take a bite and then sneeze. Because like,
Yeah,
you don't
like,
lick
there's no way a
enough.
lick
You
is-
don't lick enough ice
exactly.
cream for that to happen.
You're orchestrating your own failure in this,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this front by doing what you're doing.
So I'm gonna have you bite ice cream, and I'm gonna throw pepper in your face, and then you're just gonna like fucking just
Gonna
sneeze ice cream
sneeze.
all over you.
That's crazy. Shove ice cream in somebody's face, pepper spray him, and kick him down a flight of stairs.
And then-
That's how I go.
Have you ever seen that video where like have you guys ever heard of Ninjago? On Ninjago?
no,
I'm not fucking having this conversation.
There's this video of this little baby like throwing up out of his nose, and the vomit comes out of his nose. He's like Mr. Miyagi, and they start playing a Ninjago opening, and it's really funny.
That's so dumb.
It's
All right,
stupid.
come and me, turn me
It's actually
gay.
Kind of very racist.
All right,
but it's just
of
a
course.
cute little baby, so it's like, oh, it's not a. It doesn't mean to be that way.
Yeah. Come and me, turn me gay, and fuck me deep, sucking dick and banging head. Blah blah blah. blah. But your names are too long. At a certain point, your names are too long.
Disrespectful.
They wrote in. He says, on the set of the Clint Eastwood film Any Which Way You Can, the orangutan co-star was caught stealing a donut, and the trainer took the ape out back and beat it. It later died of its injuries. My question is this. If you could take any non-human character from a movie and beat it to death, who would it be?
What a segue.
Yeah.
First of all,
I love learning.
what the hell were you beating the orangutan with for it to even like sustain injuries that badly?
Yeah,
Being
dude.
an orangutan to death.
Like a orangutan could slap your head backwards. Like it could just like break your neck by
Literally-
slapping you.
Literally, we have separate muscle segments. They have one muscle. That's why they're so fucking strong. Like there's just one muscle of strength throughout the arm. They don't have to work out pieces of their arm. And if they hit you, they kill you. So he went out there with like, I don't know, with fucking Mjolnir and beat that monkey.
It just has a fucking hammer. Just
The idea of just some fucking savage running out into the back of some film set with Mjolnir itself and beating an orangutan to death is crazy.
It's electrified. You see him pick it up and you see the current moving through, and you're like, yo, that poor
His
monkey.
hair
think he'd be all right?
stands up. His hair is standing up from the static.
I'd have
Is
so
he
many questions.
worthy?
Like, wait, he's worthy enough to.
He's not worthy of
beats the
anything.
shit out of a fucking orangutan.
He's worthy. He's worthy because he's about to beat it to death.
Gotta
That
have some
That's
chin-
the only
that-
reason
that-
why he's worthy.
That orangutan is either the most evil thing you could possibly imagine, or he is so strong that he circumvents the will of Mjolnir. Which all of it is scary. All of
Yeah,
that is
it's
scary.
all-
Like, there's
it's
no
all-
good scenario.
I believe the latter because I mean that to even want I don't know, man. That's crazy. Hey, I'll give that dude his flowers. That's fine. That's fine.
You know who I would beat to death if I would? And I have to hear them being beat. I have to hear it. I have to be there and hear them begging for help. Donkey from Shrek. I would love to hear Donkey from Shrek getting beat to death.
So
And
Eddie
him
Murphy.
He
begging for
basically
his
want
life.
Eddie Murphy to be beat to death
As Donkey, though.
as Doc. So he just puts on a donkey costume and then you beat
Please
the
don't do
shit
it.
out of him.
I won't do it again.
You cut You know what you do? It's like Star Wars where you cut a donkey open, you shove Eddie Murphy inside it, and then
you
sew it
beat
up.
that, and you beat whatever
And
that
then
is.
just hang it from like a rope and just watch kids hit it with a bat until it. You imagine a muffled Eddie Murphy screaming from inside a dead donkey?
I'm dying.
This hurts. Oh man.
Who the hell put me in here?
It's
hell
hot
put
in
me
here.
in
I
this
can't
donkey?
breathe.
Hey. Who the hell put me in here? That's great. That's great.
Who the hell
I
put me in
would
here?
I would laugh my ass off.
Well, he's
Is
just
it
I'd laugh my
racist
ass
to-
off,
wait,
and
hold
then
on.
I would go there and I'd
Question,
shoot it a
question.
few times.
Yeah.
to make
Is it
sure it's
racist
dead.
for me to do an impression of Eddie Murphy? Is that a racist thing?
Yeah, it is. But it's
No, I don't think so.
I don't-
Because you're
I mean,
doing his voice. Like, would it be racist to do Joe Pesci's voice?
No.
So what?
So what's the problem?
Is Joe?
I'm Eddie Murphy. I'm
So-
going to kill
so
myself.
what's the problem? See, look, you know what? It's more racist to say that's racist because you're just implying that, like, oh, that's just how all black people talk. But that is absolutely not true. Most black people on Earth do not speak in a black American accent. So the idea of thinking that I'm doing this voice is very small-minded. It's not. It has no business in this fucking world because that's just like
Derek. I just talked about putting one of the most beloved comedians of all time inside of a donkey's body, and beating it to death.
and beating him to death.
Do you think anything is too low for me on the totem pole? anything is like, I can't go that far.
Hey,
I can't go that far.
You shouldn't be doing that, man. That's uncalled
That's
for.
not funny.
But yeah, but Mjolnir with the donkey. You got to make
Mjolnir
sure
with an
you ask the
abusive
guy.
animal handler.
You ask the animal handler to, hey, could you take care of this animal? Sure, buddy. First, what did he do? What did he do? Because that's
The monkey
stipulation.
literally picked up a donut and he grabbed it by
And
the
then he
fucking scruff of its neck and just dragged it outside, threw it against a trash can and started whooping it.
So what did Eddie Murphy do? What did Donkey do to deserve his
I don't know.
his
You
services?
probably asked me like one too many questions.
Yeah, he asked. Yeah, he asked you. He asked you if you could. He asked if you could. Wait, what do you got? What do you got?
I just like the idea of this happening to him because he double parked or something.
Yeah.
Or something like something really mundane.
So,
Did you double park donkey? My wife flew me. She's a
Can you
dragon.
imagine? Like, can you imagine
fucking
approaching
liar.
like? Can you imagine you're driving your car and you approach like a roll? You do a rolling stop at a stop sign.
yeah.
Something that simple. And then like your door opens, you're immediately hit. You see stars. You wake up in a donkey, like hung upside
In a
upside down.
donkey.
You wake up in something because you don't know
Yeah,
what
you don't
you're
know.
in.
You don't know.
No,
for
you
sure.
know. But based on the way you feel, you have like 2 moments to feel on. This is a fucking donkey.
Yeah, you can feel it's hollowed out too. So you could theoretically like fit your legs and hands into the legs and arms of the, of the
Yeah.
donkey.
You wake up in
and
the.
then like like and you
legs.
can wear it like a suit, sort of. Oh man.
hey.
You're like, you
Why am I a
move
donkey?
a little bit. You're like, this is definitely a donkey. I'm in a
This
donkey.
is definitely a donkey. And
Who
you can,
put
I
me
guess, you
here?
could peer out of the mouth, like of the donkey, like that's where you can like see. I guess.
Like the Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles.
yeah.
Yeah, like exactly like the turtles, and you just see this motherfucker
Exactly.
walking up, charging a Mjolnir.
Exactly.
The lightning fucking spouting off of it. You're like, oh no.
Oh fuck,
Dude,
hell
all
did
I
I
did was
do?
come to a rolling stop, dude. It was
hit
just a
you-
rolling stop, dude. Where's my car at? Wait,
First
I
he
wasn't
hits
even
you
close
when
to
you're-
home. Where's my car at? Where'd you leave my car?
This one's a good question.
All
Chris
right.
making a disabled Mongo baby, strapping lead bricks and styrofoam on it, and expecting it to be good at combat. Wrote in.
That's
I don't
pretty
remember
cool.
what the hell this was. I don't know if that's a reference to something we talked about or not, but like
I don't know either.
like at this point, like I can't remember. But he wrote, "Hey, Himmy Burner and his fairly black friends,
Whoa.
like Fairly Odd Parents." I get it.
Oh, okay.
He wrote in, he says, "What is the most disrespectful album to gay cover? And what is the most gay song to straight cover?" It's kind of an interesting idea.
yeah.
The idea of taking like a really gay song and making it
Making it straight. I've thought about that. That would be pretty fun.
I don't know how. Like, I
Killer
don't know
Queen.
what.
If you make
Killer
Killer
Queen's-
Queen a straight song, that'd be so disrespectful.
Maybe.
Well, There is a song by, I think it's the, I can't remember if they're called the Out There Brothers. And the song, the chorus is literally, I wanna fuck you in the ass. I wanna fuck you in the ass. It's a real song.
Yeah.
So that's literally the gayest song. So what would you just do? Like,
There's
I
no
wanna
Homos in
have
Paradise song?
sex in your pussy.
Yeah, I
don't
don't know.
What's the
It's probably
most
like a Village
disrespectful
People song, like a
to make gay
YMCA.
You guys need to hear. You guys need to hear that song though. If you if you haven't,
I've heard
that
it.
song.
I've heard it for sure.
Okay.
I feel like you showed it to me.
Probably.
But
What is the most straight American album?
So
question.
the most disrespectful. So you're on to something, because when I did that cover of the Oliver Anthony, the Richmond, whatever,
yeah.
the handful of comments I got, because it kind of got picked up in the algorithm on TikTok. And there was just a handful of comments of people, man, this is so fucked up. Like, they were so offended. I was just laughing.
Really?
I was liking all their comments. Yeah. It wasn't the most of them, but there was a handful of comments. I at least saw like 5 of people like, oh, this is uncalled for. Like, because there's, because I think of like
uncalled for.
where I'm like, why are you so?
That.
These people that are so, I don't know, man. I think that when they just have their persona, their ego is like wrapped up into like this shit that they get so mad that you would dare make fun of it or something. And I just had a similar experience with that. I posted the shittiest Photoshop job of like, oh, here's here's Donald Trump basically kissing Jeffrey Epstein on the cheek or whatever. It's like originally Trump in the back of like a limo with Ivanka, his daughter, and he's like, and then somebody just placed Jeffrey Epstein's head over Ivanka, where it's not, her hair's not even chopped out. And it's so shittily done. I just put as a caption, this is a real photo from the unsealed documents, right? And pretty much 98% of people are on the joke. But then, like, there's like 10 people that are like, that's clearly fake. Like, oh, why would you do this? And I'm like, what the?
Why would you do this?
And I'm like, how is it's so shittily done that I'm like, surely this isn't gonna happen, right? Like, I'm thinking, surely there's not gonna be a handful of people that, but it didn't fail.
That was my exact experience with that AI grandmother in the resin table.
Oh, right.
Except like at like a magnitude that I did not anticipate even slightly. She
really
has no legs.
That's ridiculous.
They thought like they thought they cut this woman's legs off and put her in it. Like, so many millions of people believed that they just vivisected their grandmother and put him in a fucking coffee table. It was crazy.
It really makes me sad. Like, sometimes I'm like, this, like, if I saw like 1 or 2 comments, I'd be like, oh, that's funny, like, what an idiot. But then when I see like more and more people believe some obviously fake bullshit, I'm like, damn. It makes my, you know what my mind it goes to? It immediately goes to, damn, these people vote. I was like, damn, these motherfuckers vote, dude. Like, this is,
it is
like,
upsetting.
I get like to that point where like, damn, these motherfuckers are gonna vote. But anyway, so I was bringing up that all of that. I think some type of country thing. They're probably something that is supposed to be so manly and like country strong, or some type of rock song or something that's supposed to be like tough would be the best thing to just gayify.
Maybe like one of those country songs about 9/11.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Like have you forgotten?
Yeah.
How it felt that day.
That fucking bullshit.
To see your homeland under fire. Dude, absolutely there's a way to
Yo, that song's so shit. Oh my god.
we have to figure out how to do that. Like,
right.
I would love to make a gay version of like a 9/11 country song. That would be so fun.
That would be great.
I think that's the best one to do it to.
There's
too,
that
because,
one,
like,
and then Proud to Be an American.
Yeah.
Or at least I know I'm gay.
I love
or something.
this land.
And then there's There's a song that came out last year that maybe you guys heard of it, maybe you didn't actually hear it, but you at least know of it, where this guy says something like, "Don't try this in a small town." And it's essentially an anti-Black Lives Matter song, because it's just like, oh, you dare do any of this stuff, like, you know, don't riot, don't protest, don't do anything. If you tried this in a small town, you would get killed, essentially. And it's such a shit song. But yeah, I think doing a country run would be really fun.
Yeah. Alternatively, I think the gayest song to do a straight version of would probably, like, I think all of our earlier suggestions were good too. But maybe maybe Lil Nas X has something.
Oh,
because he's profoundly gay.
That's right.
Like, that's one of the gayest people I've ever seen.
That Devil song. What was that one? I covered it.
Oh,
I can't remember
I don't
anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember. Call me by your name.
Call me by your name. Is that what it's called? Why does it sound wrong?
I don't know. It does sound wrong.
You're probably right, though.
It's been like 3 years, though.
Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call me on my own. I'll be
I
on
am
the
so
way.
straight.
I'm not gay.
I am
Just
so
no
damn
fucking
straight.
attempt at all.
Yeah, that'd be
All
that.
right. All right, one last thing. We don't have to really get that into it. We meant to get into it, but we forgot. And Gwyneth Paltrow's unburnt vaginal candle wrote in. It says, "Hey guys, quick one. But did you guys see that some kid beat Tetris? I did. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't even realize that was a thing that hadn't been done until like yesterday.
No, I didn't. It actually kind of that kind of is. It's kind of breaking my brain a little bit.
It's kind of impossible to. It's kind of impossible to imagine.
Because
how the fuck?
It's like Pac-Man, where I remember being a kid, I played so many levels that I quit before I won, because I'm like, I just assumed this shit doesn't end, and so that's what I assumed with Tetris.
Yeah, I guess that's what literally every single person ever thought about Tetris as well.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh yeah, you can't beat this. And then everybody just unanimously gave up. And then this one kid just decides to do it.
Right.
That's insane.
But it's like, it just happened? Why?
Yeah.
The amount, look, I watch a lot of, so I don't really watch a lot of, when people are trying to, like, games done quick. I don't watch a lot of stuff happening real time. I usually watch documentaries or people making videos of, here's like some of the like an overview of shit. And I watched the God of War one, and I've watched some of these people, the shit that they go through, that they do, and the amount of time that they invest in to beat some of this shit as quickly as possible. Like, just, and I'm shocked that there, like, there's completionists that I feel like, well, clearly somebody would have beaten this a long time ago. That just, it just sounds insane to me. that it just happened? Like, are you fucking with me?
What are you doing, Kingston?
He's fighting sleep.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to zoom in on him in this part of the podcast, where he's clearly fighting the urge to sleep.
I thought you were jerking off, but like you weren't being fancy about it.
Just jerking off real fucking silently.
Yeah, just like tiny, like really small strokes.
Really,
like you don't want to wake the person next to you.
Yanks.
Micro yanks.
Like that.
It's a bunch of, you get like a bunch of little dolls' hands. You put it all over the head, and you move them all a little bit.
That's
Are you
insane.
practicing? Is he practicing?
Micro yanks.
Are you practicing for Keith David? Is that
on the screen?
Yeah, you're just kind of like getting like, all right, I got to do micro strokes, so he doesn't notice. I got to do micro strokes.
So Keith David doesn't notice. I'm gonna come at the screen on him.
You know what you should do though? You should get like some type of. So you start edging, and then you get they have these penis vibrating things, like where you insert your penis. It's like a pocket pussy or whatever, but like a taco or something, and you enter your penis into it.
No.
And it vibrates.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It vibrates your. Well, it's just like it's a sex toy, right? But it's a vibrator for men. It vibrates your. So the most nerve endings are on the bottom of your shaft, or the opposite side of your penis head. So that's where you get one of those. You turn it on in the last like 5 minutes or whatever. You'll be good to go. Right, as we're reading the names while Keith David's on, you slip that on, you turn it on.
We are, by the way,
good to go.
maybe like We are 1 degree.
What?
We are 1 degree removed from Keith David at this point on
That's
multiple
insane.
vectors. It's very bizarre. Like we know people who work with him, who have worked with him. It's fucking bizarre. But so this is getting more and more likely.
We're willing.
You know?
We're willing this into existence, 100%.
But we have to end the show.
Honestly, like if he
That is true.
If he
That is
did
true.
podcasts, you could probably meet him because I know, like, I'm good friends. Not good. I'm pretty good friends with the person that he's working for on the show, and I can just ask to meet him one day.
You mean
I'm
Viv?
like, hey, would you mind if I like talk to Keith? And she'll be like, yeah, like, go ahead.
You talking about Viv?
Yeah, Viv. She was like, yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. And I'm like,
I
I
mean,
haven't talked to her in a while. I know she works around us, but
do it.
she
Do
lives
it.
right next to you, literally.
what?
No,
Really?
no, not anymore. She used to live by you. She lives over by
Well,
Like
let's
the-
not.
well,
whatever. People don't
Let's
need to
relax.
know. People
Let's
don't need to
relax.
know.
Let's
People don't
relax.
need to
Yeah.
know.
What are you doing?
over by the what you call it,
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you call
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, that. Perfect.
the whatchamajigger.
She lives on 316 fucking Heil
He went
Hitler
from
Lane.
he went from spoiling Baldur's Gate in the first 5 minutes of the podcast to spoiling somebody's entire life
Almost
by doxing them. on the show.
doxing them.
Dude, if you're still playing Baldur's Gate, bro, if you haven't finished Baldur's Gate yet, it's your fault. I don't care.
No,
tired of
no,
waiting for
that's
people.
not what happened. You spoiled like the new thing that had come out
the
like
patch
hours,
5.
hours
when you were
after
talking
the
about
patch.
patch 5, that was funny as fuck.
Oh my god, bro, Patch 5.
That was
It's
funny.
really nice. Everyone should do that. if
No,
you
but it's
finish the
cool.
game.
I did. I went through all my playthroughs and experienced the like 3 different of the patch 5. So that
They're
was
really
that
nice.
was cool. That was cool. I eventually did do that.
Because your characters go through so much bullshit in that series. Like, everyone goes through such an exuberant amount of bullshit. It's good for them to be like, here's a bit of a happy ending.
The cool thing about it, it's closure that people weren't even demanding. Unlike, say, Mass Effect 3, when that happened, everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I did all that shit for 3 games, and then it just like ends, and there's no wrap up. All the things that I've done, and then there was a patch like that was like a few gigs for free, and then they gave you some closure. And I'm like, "Oh, it's funny that you didn't think about that before." Like, they weren't even planning on doing it, and then Larian's like, "Hey, let's give them a fucking cherry on top that people were already satisfied with the game." I was like, fine. I was like, it's fine, you know? I know what's happening. I know how things have ended, at least, but now it's like, oh, cool. I get to actually, you know, like, it was, what a fucking wonderful, what a wonderful studio. I gotta say.
It gives you hope for more, too. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Did we,
there's so many things that can happen.
did you read the question, or am I just tripping? I don't even remember what happened.
Oh, we were just talking about like they wrote in about the kid who beat Tetris.
Oh, right. That was it. Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's
it. And then we got
impressive.
So
distracted
that-
by
I
Sweeney,
guess,
Sweeney
I guess
masturbating.
beating Tetris is getting max score, right?
Well, it's yeah. I think the idea is to get max score, but like to clarify, there are versions of Tetris that you can beat very easily. Tetris
Right.
Effect is one of those. Like, you know, there are variants of Tetris that you can beat.
By breaking it. How do you break it? He says 13-year-old
But-
gamer
so the
becomes
original-
the first to beat unbeatable Tetris by breaking it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the 1989's Tetris,
kid.
like the original Tetris for the Game Boy, and various arcade cabinets, and probably SNES or NES, whatever. That is the original version that has never been beaten before, apparently, because there are issues with it. Like, it gets to a point where like the score gets so high that the game shuts down because the code can't reconcile it, and no one's ever gotten that high.
Oh, so
ever.
he maxed out all 9s. Yeah.
Yeah, he maxed out all 9s and kept going and kept going and kept going, and then the game just died. Which is crazy. It's crazy to me that that's never happened in 39 years. That's fucking ridiculous.
That's the thing that I'm like, what? It took this long? And then you look at the kid too. It's funny. I'm like, of course he looks like that. Of course. He just
Stop, bro.
some
Stop.
thick, incredibly thick glasses. Like, he's just, the motherfucker just, you know,
34 years. Sorry.
that dude.
But yeah,
that-
like it's
he has a diaper on, you know, so he didn't have to get up.
I saw
he's
some
a-
I saw some
got
like
a
news
diaper
reporter.
on.
I saw some news reporter. I saw some video of like some news reporter talking about it, and like, well, they were like, some kid beat Tetris or whatever, and he was like, that's not a goal, go outside. And it's like, yo, you're shitting on this fucking 13-year-old boy, like,
Yeah,
fucking
like-
on live on the fucking news. You're such an asshole.
Go
What the fuck?
outside. I'm like, but he's a kid. He's supposed to play. Isn't he supposed to play video games?
He's also done something that's like hasn't ever been done. That's kind of crazy. Like,
Right.
even if it is like a fucking video game, that's nuts. People had 34 years to beat this, and no one did until this kid. That's
Yeah,
cool.
It definitely, it actually, that's why I was like, wow, that seems like something that, I mean, because there's even like, say, the people that I've beaten all the Soulsborne games without getting hit. There's like multiple people that have done that.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, I would never even waste my time trying to attempt beating even a portion of the game like that. Probably
Right,
like,
yeah.
like what the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah, same. I like, there's no way I'm spending my time doing that. It's insane.
Yeah.
I have a hard time justifying a platinum. Like, it's difficult for me to even justify platinuming a game, let alone doing this fucking unreasonably, like, this thing that no one's asking you to do.
Right. You're
Like,
right.
it's not even
'cause
required.
I don't think I don't know if I've actually platinumed a game.
Really?
I would have to check because I've probably gotten close, but I just don't have memory. I'm like, yeah, me actually. For what I'm saying is, I've never gone out of my way. Maybe on Xbox 360, maybe
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let me get all the achievements. Maybe I think I used to do that.
I
But
definitely.
That was a long time
I did that
ago.
I tried that for a little bit, but like I tried 100% games that mean a lot to me, if I can. Like, so that's why it's like, Ape Escape and Spider-Man 1 and 2 don't necessarily mean a lot to me, but they're like Spider-Man games, and so there's like a weird sense of obligation there.
Yeah.
I know
They're still very easy to platinum those games.
they're
not
also very
hard.
they're also like they're basically begging for you to do it. It's like it's so easy. But
I see.
There's on Xbox, I think the only games I platinum, there's no platinum, but like got all the achievements in is
Right.
I think Halo 3 and ODST. Those are the only games that I've ever tried. But I think I don't know. I kind of want to try Gears of War.
I think that's doable. Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. Unless there's like multiplayer trophies, in which case it's
Oh,
fucked.
then yeah, yeah. Which actually
that's
might
true.
be a problem. I hate
might
that
be,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
annoying.
thinking of
I think 3 almost definitely has some, because 3 is like was way more multiplayer oriented than 2.
I know 2 had that ridiculous horde mode achievement for killing like 53,000. There was like some
God.
what the hell was it? Do you remember what I'm talking about? Huh.
Just something
Gear-
No.
Gears.
whatever it is, it's like I ain't doing that. That's too many. I'm gonna have to kill tens of thousands of people. Like, nah, dude, that's like fucking a couple of years worth of shit or something. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna play that much.
It might not have been 53,000. I'm trying to remember
I mean,
what the hell.
Yeah, even if it was like 10,000, I'm still like, do you know how many times I have to do that? Because you probably only kill like a few hundred.
How many
Like,
times I have to do that?
like I can't. Whenever, yeah, whatever. But like, let me give me an example. I've put in how many hours I've put into Baldur's Gate. I have 100. I thought I had. Oh, so I have 160 hours in Baldur's Gate 3. And I only have 34 achievements out of 54. So I'm still missing 20. But I have 100. So I'm like, fuck. Now it's to the point where you have to just go out of your way to do specific stuff. Like, oh, I have to do this character and I have to do this, and I'm like, I basically have to play with every class. I have to do. I'm just like, I'm not gonna do all that shit.
I found it. So
What do you got?
It's called Seriously 2.0. It's an achievement in Gears of War 2. The first one was Seriously, which was in Gears of War 1, where you had to kill 10,000 people in competitive multiplayer.
Oh wow.
Which is probably, I don't know, back then it's probably easy.
You can
But-
get there eventually, but
Anyone
Gears
that's
of War
playing now is a
2
demon.
I ain't playing that much though.
Gears of War
Anyone
2
playing
was
now is a
Seriously 2.0,
demon.
where it was 10,000 enemies in Horde. Or any mode, I guess. So I guess
Oh,
it's
so is that
probably
collectively?
fair. Yeah.
overall-
I remember it being more.
If it's
I
yeah,
wonder
'cause
how close I am.
I can get that.
I wonder how close I am to that. I want to check.
You're
But
probably
yeah, let's move on. Let's get
Oh, what
on
the hell?
outta
I
here.
didn't know you could do that.
What?
Just look at some of the achievements. I can pet the owlbear cub and the dog at the same time. I didn't even,
in
in the
Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate?
Gate 3. Like, just reading the fucking achievements is actually kind of like, wait, what the fuck? There's so many things that you can do.
The achievements are, I don't know. Like I'm trying to get into achievement hunting again, just because I feel like it is kind of. There are a lot of games that I want to. You ever sitting with like I want to play a game, but like I don't want. I'm nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah.
Where like I don't necessarily know what game I want to play. I just kind of want to play it. Having like a list of things to platinum is kind of nice because it's just like, I get to just kind of turn my brain off. I listen to a podcast, listen to music, and just sort of try to bump out a bunch of trophies. It's a pretty good zen. I'm doing that with the first Spyro the Dragon right now, which has been like really nice and chill. But anyway, I'm gonna read the names now. Thanks for listening to the first episode of the Snark Tank podcast for 2024. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Nigga.
I'm gonna be writing 23 on so many fucking documents for the next few months. You okay? Yo. Ew.
Did you just
I
say
don't
it?
like that.
Yeah, I said it.
He
Damn it.
said
I almost
it,
made it. I almost
dude.
made it.
Dude, you know what's hilarious? I didn't even
close.
I didn't even register that you said it.
I halfway said it. I was like,
And I was like, I was like, no, he
I
didn't.
was so close. Oh my god, man! I just want to not be able to say it. I know I can. I just can't.
You can't do it.
I can.
Let me
I
dispel
can.
you.
I can.
Let me dispel you. Let me disabuse you of the notion that this is something within your capability. It is not.
It is. I can do it.
All right. I'm going to read
Lily
the names
doesn't
now. Count me
believe
down.
me.
Hey, wait, hold on
Yeah.
1 second. Before you read their names, so there's one of the first achievements you get. I just want to point this out. In Baldur's Gate 3, it says, take control of the Nautiloid and escape the Hells. So 90%, 90.5 people did this. And I'm like, does that mean that, like, the other, like, 10%, essentially, or just 9%,
Never got
Just-
to that point.
they didn't beat the game? Oh, no, sorry, the first... because isn't that the first sequence?
That's
Yeah,
like
but
the
they
tutorial
didn't
sequence,
get
basically.
through it.
Yeah, so they just they just fucked off?
Yeah,
That's
that means-
crazy.
They tried. They were like, I don't like this game, and they stopped.
Yeah,
Okay,
literally.
fair enough, fair
That's what it is. It's literally just people like being like, oh, it's turn-based? And then they shut it off. That's
Jesus
literally the only
Christ.
explanation.
yeah.
That's the only explanation for that.
Okay, yeah, fair
Some of
enough,
those
fair
some of those percentage lists are interesting because it's like this is something that you learn over time is that most people don't finish their games.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess
They just don't.
I was like, I gotta get through the fucking story, man. Like, I've abandoned some games, but usually because of problems. Like, I never beat the Shadow of War, the Lord of the Rings, because it keeps crashing. I just can't beat it. And I was like, fuck this. I'm not dealing with this.
That's a game. That's an example of a game that I didn't finish, and not even necessarily for problems. I just like there are some games that you get to a point where you're just like, I think I'm satiated.
You're like,
I'm
I get
not. Especially if you're not into the story really, or you don't care that much about the story.
Right.
If you're into the story, I don't understand why you would stop playing or not finish a game. But if you're just there for gameplay and the story's not really delivering for you, and you've kind of got all you want out of it, I've definitely put games down like that where I'm just like, yeah, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is a great example. Like, there's no way I finished Tony Hawk's Pro Skater because I just like skating around. I don't even care about progressing in that game, at all.
Definitely beat the first one 100%. I'm not sure about all the other ones. Maybe 3, and then I beat Tony Hawk Underground.
Yeah,
I'll be underground 100%, and I 100% it too as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to 100% more stuff now, but
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. 100%ing video games is important to me for games I love. That's it.
yeah,
Other
that's
than that,
kind of
I'm
where
like,
I'm
this game
at.
can suck my balls. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, man, I do want to 100. I would love to 100% Gears of War 2. I just don't know how feasible that would be because that is my favorite one, and I don't know. We talk about it constantly, but anyway. So read the names. Count me down, bitch.
3, 2, 1.
Making a Prince Albert piercing out of sodium metal, so whenever you take a piss, your dick explodes. We can bang if you want to. You can piss in my beh. All right. Trump as Marcus Phoenix be like, oh, oh, Domna. So stupid.
Let's
That's
go.
so dumb.
Oh, Domna.
That is so stupid.
I love it. I love it.
Blow a dick, a female dick.
Nice.
Gay is what I will become.
Very
Gay,
cool.
do, re, mi, blow, gay, me. Oh my God. Leon Sam's
Female dick.
big meaty stinks. Andy, the man whose handies are S tier and dandy. Goku shoves a senzu bean up his ass and clenches.
Wait, what would happen? What would happen?
Butt chugging senzu beans is crazy because it's already so fast acting as is.
So, yeah,
What
we
do you
get, like,
need
maybe,
from-
like-
what do you need from it? What are you trying to get?
Like
What are you trying to get out of that now?
the amount of time that you gain by the swiftness of it entering your bloodstream through your anus versus your digestive system is not even equivalent to the time that you would lose pulling down your pants and getting yourself prepared for that.
that is very true.
Like, it's such a waste.
You pretty much get the benefit before it leaves your esophagus. Because, like, you hear the gulp, and then they immediately go,
As soon as they crunch it twice and they wrap their back.
Yeah,
And
it's like
so-
it's like a cyanide tablet, basically, like reverse.
that's great.
Oh man, Sneeko, cowering in fear from a Krispy Kreme donut like a veteran hearing fireworks. I don't know what this is a reference to. I don't know if I get the joke. Krispy Kreme, like a glazed. Is the idea that it's glazed?
Oh, I don't know either.
I don't know if I get it. I feel like this is a story I'm not privy to. Heath Smoker, Gayzilla minus cum. Mr. White, I still haven't seen it. God damn it.
Oh, yeah, go see it.
Mr. White, rise against re-education to the sound of a black guy pounding away to the rhythm of the thrusting deep inside May. Oh, dumb. Homeless trans femme whose resolution is to fuck. Alexander the Gay and my new gaming PC. It would be naked cock, not solid cock. Fuck you. Yeah, it probably would be naked cock. Honestly, Sween got a talent for making me laugh. You are
positive
tuned
Sween
into
one.
98.7 WRIP with Negro and the Spick, mariachi music with foghorns. That's fucking ridiculous. That's definitely. By the way, this radio thing, you got to send me that list of songs.
Oh, right.
You guys.
Yeah.
I forgot about it
Yeah.
until this. You got to send me that list of songs. Give me 10 songs of yours that you want on our radio station,
I'm down.
and I'll figure it out. Just literally, because that's a great idea. Negro and the Spick. That's great. How gay am I by Seaman M? You were meant to
I love
copy the
Seaman M.
line. Yeah,
I love
Seaman M's
Seaman
pretty
M.
good. It's like. It like borders that line of like it's not clever, but like it works.
It's like his name.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Eminem's like, oh, that's kind of cute. I get it.
I get it.
Eminem. Oh, I get it.
You were meant to copy the line in brackets. Oh well, onto the next. Love Seaman M. Obama, Lord of Drone Strikes. Fuck it. Carry on with the Britain slander. Shit sucks here.
Carry on.
Carry on. Carry
yes,
on.
sir.
Listening to Sweeney makes me consider racism.
Mm-hmm.
Chris whoa.
Jesus Christ.
You all right
nigga.
there?
Fell over. Sorry.
Yeah.
Baller of the first sin. You don't have. Wait, what is this? You don't have to be afraid anymore. Sweeney, please come to Sweden. I'm the biggest boy in my village, and I can protect you from the dire moose and the what the fuck? I can't even pronounce this.
The fact that there are dire moose over there is terrifying.
That
You've
is
seen a
crazy.
moose before. You know what? A dire
dire
moose sounds
moose.
like a nightmare.
The concept of dire moose is crazy. I don't know how to pronounce
It'd be
this.
the size
I'm
of a
putting this in the
house.
chat.
like a house. I was just thinking the same thing.
That's a house.
I put something in the chat. This is what is at the end of that. I have no idea how to pronounce that at all. That is beyond me. I will protect you from the dire moose and
the Nagger Jaeger.
Is that what that said? Oh my fucking god! Jolly old dipshit screaming while I piss so hard the stream turns into a fine mist.
That's
fucking
crazy.
great. The PSI required for that is fucking outrageous.
He's over pissing.
Yeah, he's overclocked. Becoming homeless to support the homies. Hell yeah, dude. Welcome aboard. Sweeney with the eeny weeny peeny. Elmo found dead in New York City apartment. I present to you the old gods of Snark Tank featuring Jonathan Young as Alan Cake. This is Herald of Gayness.
Nice.
Disrespectful, but okay. Hey, yo, Mr. White, get a glass. I want to see it, bitch. Chris making a disabled Mongo baby, strapping lead bricks and styrofoam on it and expecting it to be good at combat. Bro, same. The everlasting gaze. Back to tank of cum. Caucasian container. The Cracker Barrel for gays. Donald Trump burping on Dom's clit. Do Christian girls squirt holy water? Dan, hold her tighter. She's a fighter. Schneider.
Nice.
King Kong's Ding Dong wrote in. All I can say is that my life is pretty gay. I love sucking dudes off in the rain.
Rain.
Oh, man.
Love it.
The rain. She pipkin on my
So
Pippa
fucking
Possum.
horrible.
El Gog. Average clit energy. Found a condom on a squid. Wait, what? Found a condom and a squid on the beach. Let nature do the rest.
Hey.
Damn, dude.
Damn.
That is outrageous. Just the hard R. Star Coffee on Twitch, bitch. She's Shinzo on my Doohickey Tilladabe. Smooshed to death by Megan Thee Stallion's ass cheeks.
Nice.
What a way to go, bro.
Yeah. I don't know if she's the Stallion.
She's got quite a.
It's a little presumptuous. She might be. She's like
got
a
quite a
Stallion
thing
at
behind
best,
her,
I
dude.
think. Megan a Stallion. How about that?
A stallion.
She's got quite a thing behind her, man. I don't know, man.
I guess.
Yeah, she does have.
It's just I'm disillusioned by a lot of that stuff because I don't know how much of that shit is fake anymore.
For her, I think it's real. That's the one I think it's
It
real. on her
seems
body.
real. It's not too much.
Saw a video of some girl with a
do
butt
some
implant on
research.
Twitter, flipping it like
Dude,
it was.
I saw the video on Instagram a long time ago. I sent you that video.
Oh, yeah?
And you were
It
like,
was like
"Why
the-
did you send me this?" You're like,
it
"Why
was
would
like-
you send me this?"
Because it was like flat, right? It was like
It
an
was
implant.
flat, and then she flipped it back to the round side.
Yeah, she flipped the implant like under her skin, and I'm just like, bro, how does that not hurt? First of all,
It
Most
is
girls,
so
though, that's what people
disgusting.
used to do. People used to get like them things. Now people just get what you call like BBL. So they just
Well, yeah, they
take
put
it from
the-
somewhere else to put it in their ass.
Yeah, usually their stomach fat in their hips, and they put it in their ass.
I just don't get it.
It's disgusting. It only looks good if you're wearing like yoga pants or something. Like
I
at
could
least
never
to,
Something
like
is in there
I
because their thigh to hip ratio is all fucked up. So you're like,
Yeah.
you look at their like legs, and you're like,
yeah. If
I
you
feel like
actually
shouldn't
get
have
would
an
have-
ass like that. Doesn't look right.
I feel like I would have to be horribly disfigured for me to consider doing anything that invasive to improve my looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
these
You're
people
not
are
a
like
woman,
severely
man.
fucked up.
Your
They're
value isn't all
severely
based
fucked
off
up.
mostly your looks. You know, unfortunately,
That's crazy. But yeah,
Unfortunately, most of them that's it's not the same. Not the same for men. It's not quite the same.
These people
I
are just
think I don't think
damaged,
it's this. I don't think it's the same for. I honestly I think the experience between short men and tall men are completely fucking different experiences.
I
But-
agree.
But God
I
bless.
agree. But at the same time,
Yeah.
women's whole thing, no matter if you're short, tall, fat, skinny, it's about appearances.
Megan's natural. Megan Thee Stallion's natural, so that's good.
You can make too much money on it. That's fine. The
That's-
been blowing
that's
blowing lots
great.
of
I
guys
disagree,
living in a
but-
gay man's paradise, taking dongs of every size, living in a gay man's paradise. Transfem Gremlin, exposing people with lactose intolerance to 90 million rods of ionizing radiation. Yush, not Vinpen, angelic DM. So here I am pretending I'm a girl named Pam. They've got a cock. They've got my cock in their hand, realizing I'm a homo man. You tried.
Nice.
It's better. It's more effort. Put
Very
in, for
cool.
Sure.
Okay, quick question,
Motorboat,
guys.
motor. What?
If you're let's say you're fucking right, you're fucking a woman, right? Fucking a woman, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You're giving her the old pepperoni, you know,
Okay.
and then she turns into a cat.
Okay.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Is that it?
Was it wrong for you to have been fucking her while she was a woman?
No.
This is like the reverse of that angel woman shit.
Yeah, it's literally that. It's literally that. It's that argument again.
Yeah, it's wrong if you continue for sure.
If she turns back into a woman, can you
Nah,
fuck her
it's-
again?
No, because she's a cat.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck a cat, dude.
As long as she's not a cat while I'm fucking her, I think I'm kind of fine.
My whole thing is like she probably
Thanks
still
for
has
that.
cat, tendencies, even as a human.
I don't like cats, man.
Like she'll
I
be
just
like
don't
licking
like cats,
herself
dude.
and shit. Like
I
and,
hate
like,
fucking cats. I hate
You know, you do the string and she's like attacking it and stuff. And I'd be like, I don't want this.
I hate
I
everything.
can't
I'm so
fuck a cat.
fucking upset. I fucking hate this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Fucking hate
kill
cats,
myself
man.
today.
Fuck
Megan's
cats,
all
dude.
natural.
I'm
pulling
gonna
up
saw
every
my own
single-
asshole out.
Why are you looking at
single-
so many? Why are you looking at Megan Thee Stallion's ass to such an
I'm trying to.
extensive
I was trying to
degree?
be 100% thorough. But yeah, that's
Okay.
complete. That is a complete natural ass. So good for her.
It's impressive.
Good for her.
Well, not really. She's a black woman. She's a tall black girl from Texas. That's not really that.
Yeah, it's very. It's
Yeah.
like, it
Not
just
very
kinda comes-
not. It's still a nice ass she has on her, but
It's
like
just-
it's not like.
It's
that comes
refreshing.
with your that comes with your ID over there.
Yeah. It's just
Motorboating
refreshing, that's all.
and open colon is the most heinous thing I've ever fucking heard, which
Yeah,
is
motor-
saying something because I'm a
Didn't you
colon.
say
I'm a
that?
Snark type.
Didn't you say
I
that,
did
Chris?
say that.
What was the
that is
context of that?
I don't fucking. I have no idea what the context of, but I know I said that because that is the only those words in that order would be something that I would say.
Open colon.
Motorboating and open colon. I wish I could remember what the fuck. We must have been talking about eating ass or something.
It may be. I don't know, dude.
All right, you know what? I'm going to check the comments on this episode. If anybody can pinpoint, like in the comments of this episode on Patreon or on YouTube as well when it comes out,
Right.
what this is from, because I remember coming up with this and laughing in my mind about it, but I don't remember what the context was at all, and I
Yeah.
would love the context back. It's so funny because like I feel like the audience has a better grasp on this than we do.
Oh,
Because we
100%.
record. Because when we record, we get it kind of it's out of order. You know what I mean? Sometimes we record like while an episode that we recorded 2 episodes ago goes live, so it's like it's weird. I don't know. Whatever. What is this? Craig the Canadian, you aren't even circumcised, machine. It's your boy Shawnee D, and wondering why there isn't a gay Christmas album.
Maybe next year.
That'll be something we'll figure that out this year.
Or yeah,
This year is going to be a ramp up on a lot of stuff for a multitude of reasons. Daily Wire presents Matt Walsh's What Is It Black? Ben and Jerry's Funky Monkey. Get Kid Icarus on the show and bully him for being British the entire episode. I cannot imagine Kid Icarus on this program.
I'd be insane.
Yeah, that I don't know. I feel like I would be almost too embarrassed to have him on. Like of these guys, specifically Sweeney. Like I don't know if I want to. I just don't want him to interact with him at all.
Why?
Because you're just, I don't know, man. You're what's
gay.
the word? What is it when your parents tell you don't act a fool because it reflects on me.
Dude, I'm cool as shit, man.
All right. Gay Sinatra be like
All right.
start
That's it. All right. All right.
Gay Sinatra be like start spreading your cheeks. I'm fucking your ass. 3XO and I want to do that so bad. 3XO and the Japanese skin professor whose suitcase of Yakuza hides was stolen in Chicago. Super stroking, slurping, stroking, smoking, joking, emoticons going like this. Keith David, Homeless Drip, Homeless Drip MH, Lord of Homeless Drip. If you get put on Santa's naughty list, he'll pop your balls like bubble wrap.
Yo,
Obi, won't you blow me? Homeless, never homoless.
very cool.
Very cool. Kremlin to Gremlin. That's it. I'm really going to do it this time. Deeth Cavid. She spread it and let me take a sniff of that mahi. Fucking police coming hard as I thrust and pound. Abby. Good day. Magady. All right. Frank Sinatra. That's gay. That's gay. That's what all the people say. You're riding men in April. Suck balls in May. Oh, that's good. It's yeah. There's something in Sinatra, man. That's an untapped gay market. I feel like
No,
there's
you're
something
right.
there. It's just it's hard to like
That
the
whole
instrumentation of that
genre
is difficult.
Is fucking actually because it's yeah. You're
We might have to heavily consider this.
Yeah,
this might be
yeah.
this might be an upcoming extra ammo. I think
gay Sinatra. It just works.
Spank Sinatra,
Spank Sinatra. That's right. That's right.
or just make it even just I don't even know Spank Sincocktra, whatever. We'll figure it out.
That is so fucking gross.
Yeah, okay. Wage Slave 583, a sad gay from Michigan. A sad guy from Michigan. I'm seeing gay everywhere. Down bad for a helicopter dick emoticon so I can see Chris go emoticons going like this to it. Good luck trying to trick me. Who can take a hard cock, thrust it in your ass, suck out all your semen while your
Candy
booty's
man?
getting smashed? The sucking
gosh.
man.
The sucking man. The cummy man.
Ollie.
The cummy man.
Donkerson, Monk Gyatso.
Monkeyatsu. Wait,
Monkeyatsu.
from fucking Avatar?
Yeah. You gotta pay the troll's toll to get in the boy's hole. Gate 6. Gayvana, come in my ass as a man, as I suck on his peen, as a gay, as a queer, as you plow my pussy. I don't know what this is. My PP get biggies for all them niggies.
Oh, damn. Damn, that's bars. That's how you should. That's how like Kendrick's like next like feature or whatever. He did just to really shock the world again, like Control or something. He just, my PP get biggie for them niggies, you know, and he just goes off like everyone's like, yo,
He says that, and that's his bar. And everybody's like,
he just comes out as gay.
my PP get big. No. He just says biggie for the niggies. It's female niggies too.
I guess.
That's so
There's nothing gay about it. No, damn thing gay about it.
I guess.
It's
mean,
it's just
you want to be philosophical about it, but I think just a literal translation is he really like some niggas, you know? He really like some black dudes. Fair play. Fair play to Kendrick Lamar.
Late term abortion with the Vanderland gang. If I were a gay man with a femboy or two, the vampire twink in Baldur's Gate 3 made me slightly less gay. Jeez.
What?
Gumball's voice actor, Calling Dream, the F-slur, Sandman.gov, John Strickland, do your balls hang low? Can they gobble down my throat as the cum thick as rice? Is it sweet or is it spice? Merck's 1889. Spirit, please. I'm Christmas pilled. I'm no longer going Scrooge mode. I don't know what that.
What are these names? There's so many different ones that make no sense.
It's getting so chaotic. The first to Keith David featuring Paul Joseph Watson's massive fists waffle punching his shit down the sink drain. Uncle Ben did 9/11 specifically so there would be less buildings for Spider-Man to swing from. Pre-Roz. Such an ineffective. Like there's still so many buildings. Oh man.
There's just two less. There's just two
less really high
and not
ones,
to mention
I
the
guess.
fact that those buildings specifically are the least important to him because like they're so high up that he can't really chain from anywhere.
That is very true.
So like it's just like they've just been replaced with more useful buildings for Spider-Man. Like it's crazy.
He's all pissed. Like you guys did the wrong buildings. Oh, sorry. Well, we're dead, so we can't. He's talking to them.
Aunt May and fucking Uncle Ben as drug addicts, and they're
boiling alive in
is
jet
fucking
fuel
doing
as
some
they're
drugs.
having this conversation.
That was great.
Their skin's melting off their bones in the cockpit of a fucking
Yeah. Just the last
irradiated fucking they're having this conversation. It's like we hit the wrong building. It's like it's too late now, dude.
Oh, sorry about that.
Hit the building. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? We're already in the fucking building. It's already collapsing with us in it.
His fucking eye is melting, and he just goes like, "Oh, sorry. Let me back up."
Let me
turn
back
around.
the plate. Let me put the plate in reverse.
This plane has good brakes.
All right, pre-Roz, Blake896, crypto scammer and YouTube sensation Logan Paul winning the United States champion WWE Crown Jewel. Cigarette Gay Dreams. I would have made a gay parody of the song I Got Erection by Turbo Negro, but it's already gay enough. I don't even know what that is.
Well, Turbo Negro's a
Lil
punk band.
Dish Rag, Come on My Peen, Alaskan Oilfield Trash, Texas Tater Salad, Going Down on a Girl just to then throw up in her.
That is something else.
That's fucking vile.
That is something else, man.
That's a deal breaker.
That
man.
is something else, man.
That's a deal breaker if I've ever heard one. If you throw up on my dick,
You
it's
hold
over.
her pussy open and vomit in it, dog.
I disagree. So,
You disagree with that?
so the only reason I disagree is because
Has it happened?
it hasn't happened. But me and my homies in high school, we were making sex moves. My friend made the Ed Tornado, where you piss on a girl's toe and you lick it off like a tornado. And then so mine was called the Pilot Punch. And so what you do is fucking while a chick's sucking you off, you take her off, you hit her in the stomach as hard as you can, and she throws up on your dick, and then you make her continue sucking your dick.
Keep reading the names.
Sue Hulk. Tickle My Ass Hairs. Nikki Ziggy. The locust that fucked the Boltok pistol throat hole where Maria's head used to be. A roughly human-shaped pile of red flags. Jackson DuPont. That is so fucking outrageous. Badly brave, duck cunt, Goliath voice. I've denied everything, even my cum. Aetherian, Pajurian hunter, frying bacon with my shirt off. Melphus won the angriest cunt, enjoying the view on the Dealey Plaza, and as always, running out our list, king of haphazard.
Derek, you're fucking sick. Fuck you, dude. The fact you told me that, I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my fucking life. I'm never gonna forget that shit. A year from now, I'm gonna be like, God damn it, that dumb bastard. He told me this and I can't forget it.
Any listeners want to participate in the pilot punch, you got to pay me a little bit of that trademark, just a little bit of royalties.
Some of that pussy. You gotta throw some of that pussy this way.
Yeah. Throw some of that pussy this way.
That's actually not what I meant, but
I mean, that's the only kind of, they're not making money.
I just want them to give me some money, though. Just to,
Would you fuck a homeless person?
No.
I mean, that sounds awful, but like, I have seen in LA one time, I saw like a gorgeous homeless woman, and I was like, yo, that's a good point. That's actually good. That's
What'd you say?
That's actually a very good point. I don't fuck my fans. I all my friends, I should start fucking my fans. Sorry, wife. We're entering 2024 is a new era. We're gonna fuck some homeless people now.
Yeah, I'm gonna
depends on how homeless.
Cheating about your girlfriend again.
It really depends on how
a little
homeless.
bit.
Like,
I'm gonna start cheating on my girlfriend again.
If she's just a deadbeat, then that's, I don't know. That's not ideal.
Man. I'm for more cheating in relationships, man. Start
this is a new era,
again,
man.
Guys.
We're trying to be progressive in this bitch. Like all these archaic fucking monogamy. Like this fucking
Exactly,
this is some old school
you
bullshit.
You see a hot piece of slash, you fuck it, man.
You gotta, especially if you see a hot homeless woman. You're like, dude, when are you ever gonna see that again? You invite her over for a shower.
You homeless bitch, you fucking derelict bitch, drink me. And then you fuck her. You fuck her a bunch.
Give her the old pilot punch. You know what I'm saying?
It's actually very dire, because the reason why you don't see that is because they don't live long.
Yeah. Well, no, there's all these reasons. Rich perverts swoop them up.
Exactly.
Yeah, or the homeless perverts kill them.
Yeah, that actually is probably more probable.
So the fuck what, nigga?
Did you see that video of some guy? There's some guy fucking a homeless lady. And like he's just on the street. It's some guy. It's not even like a homeless guy. It's just some guy fucking a homeless lady.
Oh, wasn't it two homeless people?
and it's some guy goes up to the phone, goes and was like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck you doing?" Somebody goes like, "She got AIDS, right?" And he goes like, "For real, for real?" And she goes, "I got AIDS."
I don't know if I've seen that,
dude.
I probably would have remembered that if I saw that.
I'll try and find it. I thought
you're already in the middle of doing it. Might as well finish up,
I did see some people fucking in New York. They were, like the subway station, whatever. I don't know which.
Oh yeah.
You guys would probably recognize it. You guys like, oh, that's over here. Yeah, so
probably
they were just
Longwood Avenue or whatever.
Nah, it's probably 125th, man.
They were just going to town. I was like, oh, that's crazy. They're not even trying to have privacy.
New Yorkers are simians, bro. I'm telling you, dude. We're fucking simians. We're chimps.
There's no room for privacy, so there's no illusion that was ever possible.
Yeah, It's a good point. It's a good point.
Anyway,
all right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Fuck you all. Happy New Year.
Bye, homeless. Yeah. Hopefully you guys get a home. If you don't, but if you do, make sure you remain
before
a patron.
You get a home. Make sure you pay us before you get a home.
Yeah.
First things first. Pay us and then get a
first
fucking
things
home.
First.
Right?
If you have a home currently and you lose it, make sure to subscribe to us first.
Make sure in the process you wake up, you buy some food, pay us, then pay your bills.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us on the way to your own foreclosure.
Exactly.
100%.
Don't be a fucking selfish bitch.
Yeah. Thank you.
The economy is really bad, though. I'm sorry for all your losses.
I'm not at all. I don't feel bad for anybody.
Yeah, Kingston's trying to build a castle